You ready?
Who the fuck are you?
I am the law. You ready?
You killed innocent people.
The means to an end.
You started a massacre.
I caused the revolution.
You betrayed the law.
You don't look ready.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Dreddful Cyber Punk-Cast. My name is Andy.
And I'm PK.
And this is episode 73 of a podcast where we read, react to, and review the original Progs of 2000 AD's Judge Dredd. Good to see you again, PK.
Hey, Andy.
How's it going?
Not bad.
Not bad. So, little confession, it's been a little while since we've done this.
No, it hasn't.
The last episode that I posted was on
Last week?
February 2nd of 2023.
Oh, wow.
So
it's been longer than I remember.
It has been a while.
That was a lie.
We took a little bit of a break, and now we're fucking getting back into this. We're going hard into the paint. We want to do this again.
Some people got married. Some people had a girlfriend and broke up with them.
All kinds of shit happened. A lot of shit happened. Life gets away from you sometimes, but we're back to do this because we know it's good for us, and also it's a fuckload of fun. It's something to look forward to every week.
We both very much missed it.
Minor update for those, if there's any listeners left anymore, which if there's not, it's just us. Hey, that's how we started this fucking thing, right?
And that's how we'll finish it.
We will end this thing alone in a
I
apocalyptic
will
wasteland.
alienate every listener that we have.
I don't know if that's the right way we should be going with it, but small update. In the time that we have been gone, and relatively recently, I had a complete hard reset happen involuntarily with my computer. My computer was like, hey, you know how Windows 10 is pretty nice? Fuck that. Windows 11 is even better, and you want to get rid of everything you ever had on it. So it did me a favor updating to Windows 11,
and get rid of everything in the past.
I lost everything, basically.
New Windows Edition, new you.
New Windows Edition, new me, which also means, I think, new intro to podcast.
I think we'll be having it this episode.
I think it's going to be in this episode. New intro and outro. I worked pretty hard on it. By that I mean about 15 minutes of good, Audacity editing.
Can work hard in 15 minutes.
But the point is that the plan going forward is us to record as regularly as we can, be it a once every 2 weeks. If we get a chance to once a week, depends on how plans work out. But we want to keep recording these and get these out regularly. So my question for you, PK, since it's been a while since we've talked, is because this podcast is about Judge Dredd and the
cyberpunk genre.
The cyberpunk genre. What has been have you had any cyberpunk experiences or other mediums that you've enjoyed that have cyberpunk stuff?
Not that much.
I've got a lot.
I was thinking of something. Okay. So without giving away what I remembered of yours that I would like to talk about.
Okay. Of mine.
Yeah.
You know what mine
you
is.
Experienced.
Oh. Okay.
And I played the new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, okay.
And
is that
played
cyberpunk?
You played. I think Final Fantasy VII qualifies as cyberpunk.
Interesting. There is a Megacorp, Shinra Electric.
There's a Megacorp. It's high.
High tech, low life. You are like a revolutionary. You are a cyberpunk, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never thought of it.
And so I was thinking of Final Fantasy VII for you as a very cyberpunk thing.
For me, why for me?
Because you played it, Andy,
I
for
did,
the first time.
I did play the remake, and I did start the original.
You played the original.
I started it.
The cyberpunk portion of it.
Yeah, more or less, and then it gets weird. But what was your thing for cyberpunk you experienced?
The cyberpunk DLC.
That was gonna be one of mine.
It's so good, dude.
It's so good. The Cyberpunk 2077 DLC Phantom Liberty.
Yes.
What is like one of those DLCs that just elevates the game to a whole nother level. I forget what you said. Did you say, spoiler alert, if you haven't, plugged your ears, do you know which path? Did you go bird path?
Yeah, I freed her.
Okay, freed the bird. I was a free bird person myself as well. That being said,
it's a dope song.
Idris Elba crushes it in that DLC. He's fantastic.
It was
love
hard
him.
to get rid of Idris Elba, but
It's rough.
it's rough.
He's
but
a very cool character.
He is a broken old man at this time, and he's
He very
ready to
much
go.
is. There's also
That's how I had to justify it.
that amazing like musical performance number that happens in the bar.
Yeah.
It's such an awesome.
Fucking Lizzie Wizzy.
Lizzie Wizzy, all chrome, straight chrome all the way down. Fucking cool DLC. I love that shit.
There's a huge fucking musical number. You can get her hat.
You can get her hat.
If you say the right things to her after the performance, you can get her hat. I think you might have had to have done her quest earlier.
I didn't know there was a quest earlier for her.
You know there was a Lizzie Wizzy quest to help her.
I feel like there.
She's going a little cyber psycho, dude.
Ooh, that's not great.
No,
it never is. The thing I wanted to talk about for Cyberpunk, other than obviously the Cyberpunk DLC that I experienced, something that's happened in the time that we stopped recording to now.
In the real world?
In the real world,
no.
Fucking AI is just a thing now.
Oh yeah, it's it's right there on the Google homepage.
It is.
You type something in the Google and it's like AI autocomplete.
Yeah, it is literally everywhere.
It's really fucking helpful.
It's really helpful.
And I'm getting a little fucking scared, dude.
It has become the knife that cuts through the chaff that is the abundancy of the internet.
Yeah.
But it isn't necessarily perfect yet. I'm not sure if we want it to be.
Improving as AI does.
But I mean, we went from no AI to like
basic AI.
Like we are at right now, the next generation of Google phones is offering an AI service, which is insane. Like there's an AI servant, a Jarvis, in your next Google phone.
It is increasing in leaps and bounds. What's the term?
Exponentially
great. And that's what AI does.
It's a little scary
before it takes over.
A lot of like interviews and stuff I've heard, or people talking about like, we don't have to worry about general AI, which is the Jarvis level AI from like Iron Man.
Right.
We don't have to worry about that for 10, 15 years. I'm like, I feel like that's worth worrying about still.
I'll be dead.
I hope not, but I really hope that I just really hope that we can push that out maybe a little bit. Maybe I don't know.
40 years. Let's make it 40 years problem.
Just 40 years? Just 40 years? I don't know. It's a little scary though. I was kind of taken aback. We went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine recently.
We did.
And there was a fucking commercial for AI
There were a couple of them, weren't there?
There were a couple of AI commercials. It was pretty weird. It was one of those reminding about our humanity and stuff like that. We're in a cyberpunk.
I mean, at least we're not enhancing ourselves with AI yet. Like our own.
We don't have the Neuralink yet.
Right.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
They're testing the Neuralink, but it's Elon Musk, so we didn't have to worry about it too much. It's crazy though. It's crazy how much that has advanced in such a short amount of time.
It is.
I
remember when AI art was a joke. It's like, look at the 10 fingers on each hand, and now it's not impossible from regular art, but it's much closer in a few.
It is
less than a year's time.
It's much more prevalent as well.
That too.
I am seeing AI art on. I spend a lot of time online, like Reddit and stuff. I'm seeing AI shit all over the place, and it's gotten to the point where there's the whole theory of the dead internet now. Of there's. It's just bots responding to bots or the majority of the posts, trying to force engagement, basically. Look up the theory of the dead internet. It's pretty crazy.
And I've been hearing about, you were there when our friend was... Were you there when Jeff was posting his AI prompts for Captain America arresting him with the Academy Awards for being a Hydra agent?
Yeah, I remember this as well. It's a crazy time.
Chat. I've heard a lot of things about being
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT.
Yes. It's a crazy times we live in, I would say that we are, as far as a cyberpunk dystopia goes, we're getting the cyberpunk without the apocalypse yet. We're in a very slow descending dystopia, I think. It's just taken more time to get there. On a gradual decline,
So you mean... where before the bad things actually start, where just things are good.
Yeah.
So they might not even start.
I mean, that's a possibility. That would be a nice possibility. I would really hope for that.
Things could go to shit.
things that go to shit in our lifetime. It's also a possibility. For those of you who have, let's say, your first episode listening, it's not usually this dark. It's just that AI is a kind of scary concept. And I will confess to using it. I mean, it's part of the Google search engine now.
Yeah.
It's part of most search engines. And I've tried using the AI art generator for, like, character art.
I've used AI art, Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Not for anything important, just like, it would be funny if...
Yeah. Or I use it for, like, if I'm doing D&D stuff, I want art of a character.
Right.
An NPC. Just to have their picture in my head.
Yeah.
And get a version of them. So when I come back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. So yeah. That's kind of some crazy stuff that's been going on since we've last recorded. But let's catch back up where we are in Judge Dredd, PK. I'm going to read you. We're going to talk a little bit about where we started, because it's been a while. This is just a synopsis to get the listener and us back up to speed, okay?
Right.
So what we've covered up to this point in the comics, as a refresher, in the first case files, Judge Dredd spends a significant portion of the comic as Sheriff of the Moon, as you recall. This time is spent with his faithful robot companion, Walter the Wobot.
Who we've been seeing less and less of.
I do make a note of that. The first case file book took us all the way up to Prog number 60, and in the case files number 2, the second season of our podcast, we were treated with two, and I can't believe this happened in the same case file, two incredibly significant story arcs. The first of which was The Cursed Earth, which saw Judge Dredd and biker Spikes...
Drive from East Coast to West Coast.
Biker Spikes Harvey Rotten, as well as a few others, set out...
Spikes Harvey Rotten!
Yeah, they set out on a Cannonball Run-style trip across the irradiated remnants of the United States.
The heebie-jeebies?
For, oh my god, the Tutti Frutti
Tutti
virus.
Frutti!
The Tutti Frutti virus. To deliver a vaccine to Mega City 2 on the West Coast. That happened in Case Files number 2. Also... possibly even more influential arc of Case Files 2 was The Day the Law Died arc, which was in the same compendium. That blows my mind. That was like, it was like arc to arc, basically.
Yeah, because it was pretty much back to back.
This arc saw Mega City 1 fall to a hostile coup d'etat led by
Cal?
A power-hungry second-in-command judge named Judge Cal. Cal would make many changes to the setting of Mega City 1, the most obvious being the erecting of the concrete curtain. Mile-high, we've debated that or not, mile-high wall of solid concrete with turrets and cannon emplacements along the top that entirely encompassed the city perimeter. Dredd was
Didn't a million people die constructing this wall?
I do not think... They talked about, like, tens of thousands, but we never got... One of the things that upset me is, like, we have this theme of escalating body count, right?
Yeah.
And we never got a total for the Judge Cal atrocities.
Okay.
But we do know that it was, like, in the tens of thousands of people died just constructing the concrete
wall. Yeah.
curtain. And also, remember, he was going to execute everyone alphabetically, starting with Alfred A. Aardvark.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That was a thing.
Because he wanted to kill everyone at the peak of their civilization.
Yeah, he wanted to
so
end
people
it at
in the
best.
future would say, wow, what a great civilization.
You know, the people of the future.
That there won't be.
I mean, I guess there are people outside of Mega City 1.
There are.
That's fair. But Dredd was able to thwart Cal with his alien Clegg bodyguards.
Oh my god, the Clegg dance!
the Clegg, once-y, dicey, slicey, twice... No, once-y, twice-y...
Krampus?
Krampus, the evil Clegg. Yeah.
What expression?
Which is want to mutilate a man. He defeated Cal and his alien Clegg bodyguards with the help of a few friends, including the former chief of the Academy, now Chief Judge Griffin. Yep. And the mentally handicapped giant Fergie, who gave his life to stop Tyrant Cal, of which we now know there are giant monuments of Fergie sitting on his throne,
his toilet,
all throughout multiple sectors.
And he was a king of the Undercity or whatever, just a giant mutant man?
He was... I believe down living below the Ohio River, also, aka the Big Stinky. The Big Stinky.
Oh my god.
And he considered himself king of his domain. There, we know for a fact that the Troggies and other people live down there.
Right.
But he claimed himself of king of his domain.
Okay.
While Case Files 3 did not feature any major story arc, it did contain within its pages some of the most influential progs of the series. Here we saw Judge Dredd do battle against Father Earth, a mutant cult leader from the Cursed Earth who had, like, plant powers.
Yeah.
And the power tower.
Wasn't he gonna do a volcano?
They erupted the power tower, which was basically they were drawing. Mega City 1 draws some of its power from geothermal energy,
right?
And that erupted basically.
Okay.
Famously, Father Earth was not killed on screen. He died being consumed by a blood plant. So it's like, you die off screen. He's coming back. He's come back sometime.
Or he's somehow melded with the plant.
Something like that. Judge Dredd also saw the banishment of Uncle Umpty of Uncle Umpty's.
Oh my
Umpty
God!
candy.
The guy who made candy so good they had to send him away.
Yeah, which has already come back. We've had Uncle Umpty's candy be a problem already. And then he also had an encounter with an evil extra-dimensional version of himself, Judge Death, who is now trapped inside of the body of Judge Anderson, the first side judge we ever met of the Department of Justice.
Actually, Judge Death is not a different counterpart to Judge Dredd.
Is he his own character?
He is, in his universe, his name is Sidney Death or something.
Sidney Daith or whatever?
Something like that.
He is not Judge Dredd.
He is not Judge Dredd of a different universe.
I thank you for him, actually. That's a good correction on that. I would have gotten that wrong. I can't believe I wrote that down. I'm so sorry. But no, we had a bunch of interesting, relevant world-building progs.
That's right. The Dark Judge first appears.
Yeah, first appearance of him. And we know, you and I know, that he comes back in Case Files 5.
Oh, God.
In fact, you made a promise that you would do the notes and stuff, and I would be the one reacting to those specific progs.
I'll still hold true to that promise.
If you don't want to,
I will.
I'll hold it to you anyway.
I love the Dark Judges. I love the death fluids. I love everything about that lore. It's fucking creepy and terrifying.
From the new comics we got, it looked super cool.
I have loved the Dark Judges since I played Judge Dredd on the Sega Genesis.
Because they were all the bad guys, right?
The first half of the game was the movie. You beat Judge. What's his name?
In the movie, the bad guy is Griffin.
Well, okay, but who's
no, it's his twin brother.
It's his clone.
Yes, you're right. The bad judge is Griffin.
Who's in Volume 1?
Oh my God, I'm gonna pull it up. I gotta pull it up. I can't.
Juno?
It's been a while, folks.
Oh my God.
It is. Pull it up. Pulling it up. Twin brother. Oh, it is. I'm going. Muties. I know we burned Return of Rico.
Rico!
Yes,
Judge
there we
Rico.
go.
Okay, so the first half of the game is beating Rico.
Okay.
And the second half of the game, as soon as you beat Rico, you go to the little briefing screen while the head council of judges is like, by the way, aliens are invading from another dimension. And you've seeing hints of them the entire game. There are little purple clouds that turn into they're weird enemies that you can kill or ignore.
Okay. Of
Judge Death's Head and Judge Flame and Judge... Oh my God, Judge... Nightmare,
something like that. Judge Dark. I wouldn't be surprised. I know we never get them all right, but there are Judge Death, Judge Flame. That's about it. I don't know. That Dark Judges.
Yeah, I can't remember the names.
I remember you talking about this game, and that they were it was very influential.
So the second half of the game is you go to fucking their dimension and fight them there.
Dead World or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and it's I
fun.
I don't know why. As a kid, that just tickled my fancy. Also, I never got that far because the game was very, very hard and I was very, very stupid.
And yeah, you go back as an adult and you're like, what the fuck is this game so hard for? Yeah.
But you know how you watch a video game? You watch the demo and then it'll show the later levels that you're never going to get to because you're a dumb kid?
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that.
Never got there.
It looked like hell.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially with Judge Fire. Case Files 4 was mostly concerned with an arc called The Judge Child, which Judge Dredd and a few new friends, Judge Hershey and Judge Lopez with his infamous mustache,
oh no!
pursue a kidnapped child into the inky depths of space. This child, Owen Chrysler, was born with the symbol of the judges as a birthmark across his forehead and was foretold by prominent side judges that he would come to rule Mega City 1 during its most deadly hour. Judge Dredd chased the child's kidnapper as the infamous Angel Gang, including Pa, Junior, Mean Machine, and what was the last guy's name? There was a fourth one.
It's not those because the exiled one, and it's not him.
It's not him. No, there's a fourth one. It's the one that we know the least.
His name Skink.
Wow, you know what? PK, I'll give it to you. His name is Link, and I could not remember that for the life of me. And they introduce him. They introduced the whole Angel Gang except for him, and then they introduced, they mention his name 15 progs later, finally.
Okay.
So, I'll give it to you. So yes, we met the Angel Gang halfway across the galaxy before deciding that Owen Chrysler was evil and the prophecy was bullshit, and so Judge Dredd abandoned his duty to retrieve the child of prophecy and returning back home. He's like,
Got to the end.
I don't want to do it.
And they met this cool robot who lives in a volcano mansion.
Oh, I don't want to look it up. It's too much. But yes, you're absolutely
I
right.
was thinking about that guy the other day. I was like, that guy went fucking hard.
That guy was the most insane.
He went so fucking hard, and they're like, we'll never talk about him again.
No. Well, we might. We don't know. You know.
That's true.
There could be.
I just feel like there's a whole story about that guy I'd like to hear more about.
What is his name? I can't go by without. It's season 4.
Was it biblical? Was it like macabre?
No, it was just
Macabre?
weird. Grunwald's Kingdom.
Grunwald.
Of course.
That fucking shit went hard. Also, while they went through space, they found some weird shit.
They encountered
there was
an alien
a
planet.
toad.
There was a Merc, the Toad Man, who was like an evil being, sorcerer, warlock thing.
With the toad of prophecy, with the warts.
The toad that had spit out war. It was so weird.
There was
a giant planet that eats you. There was a fucking blood moon.
There was cavemen.
There was some cavemen involved, PK. Possibly my favorite prog we've ever reviewed was God, I can't stand it. It was the anger that you showed in there. I'm just like, where is Judge Dredd? Alien Tale, Prog 163. Which is Bono and the Black Boab. Yeah. Or something like that. It was pretty darn close.
There was cyber chips. There was the Rockstar president.
There was straight up. We have seen cyberpunk. Like what was it called? Like not Soul Killer, but the effectively personality recording chips that you go behind your ear in a slot. Literally that cyber decks or whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of insane that was introduced. So yeah, Prog Case Files 4 was pretty insane, but the second half of it, right? Which is kind of where we just left off. We had just finished Case Files number 4. The second half of Case Files 4 is also where Mega City 1 undeniably becomes the main character of the arc.
Which I was waiting for.
Like, the mini-arcs within
no
the second
more sexy
half.
dinosaurs. No more Mr. Buzz.
No more random weird gun of the week. It's the solar beam.
Oh my god.
Like, now we're getting actual world building.
Now we're into like, this is Mega City 1 and it is a main character.
The mini arcs are dramatically changing the world we know of, such as Otto Sump's Ugly Clinic, which we now know that only the rich people can afford to be ugly because everyone else is beautiful. If you're poor, you're fucking beautiful. If you're
fucking RV
mopeds. People live in mopeds that are constantly driving around because gas is free. Why not? The Fink, the return and the revenge of the Fifth Angel Gang's son. Yes. Which also introduced us to the body recycling factory, Recyc.
Yeah, because there's like so many useful chemicals and stuff within human bodies.
Human-made products.
Yep.
Eat
recycled food. It's good for the environment.
Save it. I've got a point for you to say it in this prog, damn it.
Okay.
All right. I'm glad you're ready for it, though. We also
guy's name, you know who that character's name was in the movie?
Fergie.
It was Fergie.
Yeah, we didn't realize that till like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
We also
that movie took a lot of shades from The Curse of the Earth and The Day the Law Died.
Very much those two. Though the Angel Gang do feature prominently in it, so I guess also
Judge
Child in a way. Because the Angel Gang's there. But we also had Pirates of the Black Atlantic, which saw a literal nuclear bomb.
Fucking not Johnny Depp.
Oh my god.
The fucking fish people.
Yeah, the mutants of the Black Atlantic, effectively. I can't think of what their name is.
What's his fucking name from the movie?
Captain Skank and Tuscarosa the Vicious. Who, by the way, his first mate Tuscarosa, as it turned out, was actually a Saw City
spy,
spy
in disguise as a mutant.
So that is actually
building up
to this arc we're getting to now, which I'm super excited for. So yeah, technically, a nuke was detonated in Mega City 1 because of the actions of a Sov City's judge.
That's right.
So that's leading towards big stuff.
Nuclear war, possibly.
That's nuclear war. And last but certainly not least, we had the introduction at the very end of Case Files 4 my two favorite progs, which was Un-American Graffiti Part 1 and 2, which
Oh, the gliders!
our first true
the
cyberpunk.
taggers.
Yes, the taggers of Marlon Shakespeare in Un-American Graffiti.
Oh my god, I remember Marlon Shakespeare's fucking dad.
Yeah, who heads buck eggs into a bucket. He is known as, I'm going to have it here. Characters, it is Marlon Shakespeare, and he is, I forget what his name is. What was his name?
It was Zero?
No,
what was his tag?
I'm getting it to it. I know I've got it here. Dying to go to Recyc. I don't have it. I gotta Google it. It's gonna bother me if I don't know it. Marlon Shakespeare.
Tag name. Because he was in a major fucking,
Chopper, the Midnight Surfer, because eventually he's going to become a surfer.
Yeah,
eventually
sky surfing becomes a big thing.
Yeah, not now, but eventually it will be. So PK, this is kind of where we left off, is that Mega City 1 is coming into itself as a cyberpunk setting, and cyberpunk, in my opinion, and I probably agree yours, the setting is extremely important.
Look at Cyberpunk the game. Night City is a main character.
Look at Neuromancer. Look at
The Matrix.
Blade
it's
Runner.
The Matrix.
It's the setting is what the main character should be, and stuff is starting to happen now where I would say we're no longer having Judge Dredd and the judges appear as quite as these heroic characters. In fact,
they are more totalitarian.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit more downsides of the whole judge system.
Yeah. And before, the only downside was sometimes these noble judges become corrupt, and they must be removed by other judges.
Judge Rico.
Yeah. And, oh my god, who was that judge that put on the muted disguise judge?
Oh my god.
Way back in, I think that was...
Muty the Pig or something like that.
Oh my god, yep.
Yeah, something like that. Mega City 1, at this point at least, is still listed as having a population of over 800 million citizens, though we haven't been told that in a very long time. The setting of Judge Dredd has, since the first comic, shifted drastically from post-apocalyptic science fiction and is in the process of evolving into straight cyberpunk still.
Yep.
The most recent progs have shown shifts from the judges always being the heroes to now more of an oppressive, occupying military totalitarian regime. And people who were just lawbreakers before are now being given whole backstories where we see them struggling against an unforgiving economic/government system that doesn't give a damn about them, you know?
Yeah.
It is becoming more human before our very eyes, despite its penchant for the world being kind of weird at times.
It still has its moments of weirdness.
It does, but they're getting to be kind of fewer and far between. It's going to be more tongue-in-cheek than just, this is the thing, it's so weird.
Right.
Also, as you mentioned, Walter the Wobot and Maria the Cleaning Lady have not been seen or heard of in the comic for quite some time, as it has changed in tone.
Cleaning lady or landlord, depending on when you...
I take her as, what is the lady who takes care of Sherlock Holmes?
Oh
place?
yeah,
she is
she does own 21 Baker Street.
Yeah, I forget what her name is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I kind of take her as that, and also,
despite the fact he lives in a mega building.
Yeah, that's very true, but he's on a judge's salary. Maybe I don't know. We don't know how much they get paid.
I'm assuming that she's only his cleaning lady and not for the entire mega building.
I would assume so as well. She's got to give. I mean, she can't make minestrone for everybody.
I'll drown you, you fucking minestrone.
That was a thing that he said very early on. Back when the comic was still in early installment weirdness, and it was exceptionally weird. Also, since the comic started, 4 years have passed in universe, putting our setting in the year 2103, since we started out in 20099. So PK, I know this is a long intro, folks, but we gotta catch back up to where we were at. PK, you ready to get into this?
I am.
Okay, so let's get into this. As per usual, folks, we're starting off at the beginning of Case Files number 5 here. I have reread these beginning progs, and PK is now going to be reacting to stuff. However, forward, we have read these before, and we're re-recording these years afterwards. We recorded these, and they got wiped out with all my back pile of stuff. So, this first prog, which is going to be prog 208, The Problem with Sonny Bono, Bono. I always pronounce it wrong. It was released in April 18th of 1981. Script is by T.B. Grover, which is the pseudonym for John Wagner and Alan Grant. Rest in peace. Artist is Emberton, which we know now is Ian Gibson, and letters by our good buddy Tom Frame, who's been like the go-to. He's been the lettering guy, basically. So, PK, let's...
T.B. Grover, that's a fake name for...
John Wagner, Alan Grant. It's their pseudonym of working together.
Okay.
The problem with Sonny Bono. PK, we have Judge Dredd here on the Lawmaster bike, riding through the city. Big ol', space-looking building behind him.
Yeah, nice sci-fi building, floating cars.
He's got his hands free, which tells me that the bike is probably driving itself.
Which they can do, because
we've seen
they
that.
might be AI.
We had an entire prog about this, about whether or not they were robots, and we came away not knowing it.
We came away, we still don't know.
But there is a report going out coming out from his Lawmaster screen. Go for it, PK.
Attention all units. Major disturbance at the Sonny Bono block. Residents in revolt.
Judge Dredd responding. Judges convened on the Sonny Bono block, and now we see a mega block, because we don't have city blocks, or not. It's city blocks, not mega blocks. In comic, it is city blocks.
Not
still.
mega buildings.
Mega buildings aren't around yet. They're not called that yet. So we see the city block. Independent City of Sonny Bono block.
Oh yeah, okay. So it says Sonny Bono block, like officially, but they hung up a tarp that says Independent City,
and this
place, it is in ruins. It's falling apart. There's
doesn't look great.
I can't know if those are stains or ivy growing on the sides, but it's bad.
It's not great. And there's a bunch of judges doing that thing that where they're all standing out in front with their hands on their hips,
judge pose.
Doing the judge pose. Also, kind of a construction worker vibe going on.
Yeah.
Like, we get around to it. And
we're on break.
Yeah, and a judge is talking to Judge Dredd, and he is saying,
"They've gone crazy, Dredd. The whole block's claiming independence. They say they're holding Mayor Grubb hostage." Mayor Grubb.
So Mayor Grubb, recently mentioned in the Marlon Shakespeare Un-American Graffiti at the end of Case Files 4. This is the mayor of Mega City 1. We have no idea what his responsibilities are.
That's true.
As far as we know, it's like a mayor of Midgard.
Yeah, he's Mayor Domino, who just kind of is under the thumb of another corporation or system.
Yeah, he could be the mouthpiece for all we know. So he says they are holding Mayor Grubb hostage. Judge Dredd replies, "You've checked?
Grubb's missing, all right.
Drop these problem blocks. They cause more problems than they solve," Judge Dredd says.
Of course, they're called problem blocks, so they solve problems.
PK, if you want to read the narration here, please.
Oh boy, here we go. This is where it gets a little dicey, if I remember right.
Keep going,
because there are some large...
Go for it.
Things are painted with a large brush for a while.
We're going to talk about it.
Okay. 3 months earlier, Sonny Bono block had been a showpiece in the Housing Committee. Had designated it had been a showpiece. Then the Housing Committee had designated it a problem block, and the city's problem families were moved in. Problem families.
So, put a pin in that. We're gonna circle back to that. Keep going. Yeah, I know what you see. Keep going.
Fucking face.
Keep going.
Ex-criminals, rent dodgers, known troublemakers. They couldn't be housed among normal citizens.
As you were.
Please don't clip this, the internet.
We're clipping it.
Segregation was the answer.
In bold, the word segregation was the answer. So
that's gonna get clipped.
PK,
if I ever run for any kind of political office.
PK, so what do we see here, PK?
We see a crowd of people in front of in the flashback 3 months earlier, a nice, pristine, shiny, right out of the box Sonny Bono block.
Yep. People are filing in. There's no ruins. There's no growing shit.
No.
That there is a man and woman couple of apes outside.
Yeah, which we know that there are uplifted ape.
We know there are uplifted apes. We know this for a fact. They are kind of considered second-class citizens.
Yeah, there is an ape ghetto.
There are ape ghettos, and remember, there is Joe Bananas There's an ape mafia as well.
Fast Eddie.
Fast Eek.
Fast Eek. Fast Eddie is
It's been a
oil change.
long time. It's been a
Joe
long time.
Bananas.
Joe
His
Bananas.
fucking grandma.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, those fucking comics. So there's a little kid, and I'm like a mother bending over to them. He's saying, "Our nut block's nice and shiny, Ma. Did you bring our scrawl cans?"
Which is spray paint.
Spray paint. The scrawl wars just happened.
Yeah.
We have the husband ape saying to his wife, who is holding up tent poles or bamboo poles.
Just sticks twined together. And
Yeah.
says, "No worry, babe. We can fix these swinging poles in the corner. It'll be just like home."
And then we have a very ugly gentleman, kind of portly, holding a
God.
bag, saying, "Kinda pretty, ain't it? Makes you sick." Like,
He's so fucking gross.
he's not
Even
great.
his bag is gross.
Yeah,
dude.
his bag is as gross as he is.
Is he? Did he
Rich?
get
I
ugly
don't
treatment?
think so, because he's a problem person, maybe. I don't know.
The rich can be proud. And just because you're rich doesn't mean you're not a dick.
Hey, I'm not saying all rich people, but I am saying all rich people. Okay, we turn the page. 2 weeks later, so we saw that that pristine block. 2 weeks later, Sonny Bono block was an eyesore, and we have a woman.
Oh my God.
We have like one of those. What is Harry Potter's aunt's name?
Aunt Petunia.
Aunt Petunia. Thank you so much. And Aunt Petunia sticking her head out of a window.
Like a beehive hairdo.
Yep.
Old.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
She's looking out of the
Patsy Ann Mobile.
Noble.
Oh, Noble.
Patsy Ann Noble block next door.
Okay, I thought it was a mobile.
It's not a moped. It is a. This is a actual other city block next door, and we can see that in just 2 weeks, there's like clothes hanging from shit. There's all kinds of stuff.
I
growing
never
everywhere.
understood why clothes hanging from a wire is considered a sign of the lower class. Everyone needs to dry their clothes.
The rich can do it out of eyesight.
Oh yeah, they have more space.
Yeah, they can afford space, and
That's something that always weirded me out.
I would think it's more of an aesthetic thing. Like if you're looking at a really nice house, you want your house to look nice. And
You don't want to see the clothesline.
Yeah, you can pay someone to do your laundry elsewhere.
True.
2 months after opening, the first cracks appeared. Lumps of masonry began to fall from the building. We see on the side of the building is scrawled, "The grub is a grub," as in Mayor Grub. And there's like
Pugly rules right there.
Pugly rules, or is it Fugly or Pugly?
Pugly.
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 Pugly was Pug Ugly was
The guy!
Remember there was a guy.
Was so ugly.
It was a band. It was a band who
Oh.
killed Pug Ugly. Remember that?
Then who was the guy who was so fucking ugly?
That was Otto Sump, the guy who
Okay.
started the Ugly Clinics.
Okay.
So Pug Ugly,
Yeah.
who killed Pug Ugly was a cyberpunk band that we had to find the murderer of Pug
Rocker
Ugly.
Boys. Music can be a part of cyberpunk.
Absolutely, it is foundational to it. So Sonny Bono block was formerly designated a slum.
Twerk if you can get it.
What's that, PK?
This is twerk if you can get it.
Yeah, you can, and twerking wouldn't be around for another 30 years, 40 years maybe. The housing committee were unhelpful. We have a gentleman inside who's got a clipboard and like a helmet on. He's talking to another gentleman who lives there. Go ahead.
The whole block is falling apart. We want out. See?
You'll be rehoused as soon as the new block becomes available. In the meantime, you've made this slum. You can live in it. So, the people from the government are not being so helpful about things.
Yes. Also, I like some of this more graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
Share and share alike.
Share like
Spelled C-H-E-R in the Sonny Bono block.
I know.
Sonny and
a
Cher.
clear reference to Sonny and Cher. Yes, we're gonna get a little bit of history on them as well. Meanwhile, another judge is like gesturing over his back to a giant supercomputer.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Judge Dredd. Go for it.
We've got the revolt leader on Vidling. President Dog-Ear Fitch, no less, says he wants to make a proclamation.
So PK, we're
President
getting
Dog-Ear Fitch.
President Dog-Ear Fitch on the line. Like, and we see a man with a dog ear.
Okay, so quick point of order. There's still so Judge Dredd pulled up outside the Sonny Bono block. We saw
Yes.
him outside the Sonny Bono block.
Yes.
Where did this supercomputer come from?
I'm guessing it's like installed in the back
Of
of
a lawmaster?
or Lawmasters
Or one of
are-
the big
like an H-Wagon or something, right? Like a hover wagon.
Okay.
I imagine he's kind of like the surveillance van, with all the computers and shit in it. Just one giant supercomputer.
He stepped inside one of the what are they called? The mobile command centers.
Something like that.
Okay.
We have a gentleman who has a big bow tie. He's got a dog ear, and he has a little hat that says
the face of a goblin.
He looks like a goblin. He has it says Prez, P-R-E-Z.
Like a taped together cap.
Yeah. In the back,
it looks like a cap a fast food server would wear in the '60s to serve fries.
it looks like an old five and dime hat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Malted milkshake stuff. There's a couple guys in the background of him, and we see someone who has a hood over their head, and they're tied to a chair. And Dog Ear Fitch is saying to a screen with Dredd's face on it,
"Our problem families have been pushed around for too long. We ain't taking any more orders from you. I'm declaring this block independent city of Sonny Bono. So there."
which is such a I
Are
said
you,
my
are you in
piece.
third grade?
Are you okay with that?
So there.
There's almost a, if you don't mind.
Can we
Can we
do you mind?
You what? It's all right. It's okay.
Pretoria.
Very much a Pretoria kind of thing. He continues on the next little panel down here, bottom left.
"We got the mayor, and you just go away and leave us alone, or we'll kill him."
And we see the camera is panning over to the hooded gentleman they have.
Right.
Dredd's thinking to himself with his big chin just jutting into frame.
God.
They're off their rockers. Strange. You expect one or two crazies in any crowd, but a whole block at once.
It's like we put them all there.
It's like we put all our people who cause problems in the same place.
And there's a problem.
I don't get it.
That's something for those big brains up in HQ to worry about.
I'm not here to help people. I'm here to hurt people.
Another judge is saying to Judge Dredd,
Oh my god.
go for it.
Cut him off! Starve them out! They won't last long!
And let them set bad examples for the other city blocks? No, they've got to be dealt with immediately.
Napalm!
So it's not that Judge Dredd is not, he's okay with starving innocent citizens to death. It's more along the lines
it would take too long.
It would take too long, and it would set a bad precedent. Really.
Yeah.
We deal with things right now.
How is setting a bad precedent? Misbehave and you get starved is still not a good.
Well, it would. I can understand from from the judge's perspective. Oh, these resistance people have been holding out for a couple months.
Okay.
Maybe that's not a good idea. But Judge Dredd, he that wants to solve the problem. There's a difference between hey, we shouldn't allow this, and
I'm gonna go fix this right now.
which is what he's about to do.
Yep.
Dredd sent for a Justice Department H-Wagon, which you know to be a hover wagon.
Hover wagon.
He hops in there and he's gesturing and talking down to the judges below him.
I'm going for Mayor Grubb. As soon as he's safe, hit them.
The vid link had been traced to the 50th floor. We see Dredd has hopped off the H-Wagon down like a rope ladder, and there's two guys who... PK, can you describe these two guys for me?
One guy has a little bitty eye and a big old eye. He's
Even more goblin-esque.
Why have goblins? He is wearing what looks like an overall uniform, coveralls with a bib. He has a little badge that says guard, G-A-R-D.
Guard. And there is another ape person up there with him. And the little goblin-looking guy, Judge coming! To which the... just Judge coming! Like, the same way you would say, looks like rain.
Judge coming!
And the ape gentleman says...
You here to negotiate, Judge? As he is... Judge Dredd is not looking like walking up nicely.
No, he's dropping out of the sky.
Above the 50th floor, leaping from a hanging ladder.
Yeah.
With,
both
the
feet.
intent to do damage.
Oh, yeah.
And, are you going to negotiate with us?
This is one of those, I'm gonna it's like a blue-footed booby. He doesn't know he's in danger.
You've seen Monty Python on the Holy Grail?
Yes.
That scene when the two guards eating an apple as
the guy
comes charging in with the sword,
running across the field. Yeah.
They just keep watching.
Negotiate that, creeps.
As Judge Dredd lands with one foot on each of their fucking heads.
Oh, who could have seen that coming, you fucking idiot?
Who'd have known? Dredd is now not crawling, but he's creeping through the piles of refuse that have accumulated in the hallways of this place.
50th floor. Druck, what a mess.
And there's debris everywhere. I'll give him that. There's
Yep.
refuse.
Dredd now sees there's like graffitied walls. There's another guy with guard on his chest, G-A-R-D, holding like a cudgel of some kind. Apartment 50AX, that's the one. To which
He
the guard
says out loud
To which the
to
guard,
himself.
To which the guard replies,
A judge.
a judge.
A judge!
Maybe it could be just a judge. We,
Right.
we were negotiating with them, and it makes sense that one would be here. It could be just like, oh, pizza.
He is talking out loud to himself, Judge Dredd is.
Oh, he narrates everything to himself. However, this guard gets punched backwards through the door. You're under arrest, creeps.
He got warts on his face.
And Judge Dredd pistol whips a man who has Int, which I believe is
Security intelligence?
Secretary of Intelligence.
Okay.
And there's another man who has a helmet that says
Sec
SecDef,
Def.
Secretary
Okay.
of Defense. And you can see Dog-Eared Fitch, President Dog-Eared Fitch is in the room.
Dog-eared Fitch in the room.
But Dredd is pistol whipping the Secretary of Intelligence, as he says.
I protest?
Yeah, probably I protest. You know, they want to do the whole, like, I am a civil... What's it called?
We are a civil nation, a civil independent nation.
Yeah, what's it called to people in our world who do that thing where they're like, no naval laws. What's it called?
Sovereign citizen.
Sovereign. I bet the next fucking words. I protest. I'm a sovereign citizen of Pretoria, what it's showing. But President Dog-Eared Fitch is saying,
You're the Secretary of Defense. Don't just stand there. Defend!
and Judge Dredd doesn't give a shit. Just kicks the guy out of the way. Shut it! As he kicks away the Secretary of Defense. And now Dredd is on the radio with his lawgiver pistol almost up the nose of Dog-Eared Fitch. He's like, Dredd here. Situation under control. All units move in. Crush this revolt!
Oh my god!
What happens?
The judges ride in on their lawmasters, and they're firing their guns in the air,
Literally
like fucking cowboys.
Yeah, we're in like a densely populated megapolis. Like, we're just firing guns in the air, guys. It's okay.
And like all of the citizens, the sovereign citizens of the independent city of Sonny Bono.
Yep, they're coming out. They're all coming
and they're
out.
like, we surrender.
We were only kidding.
Oh.
Everyone just surrendering. Also in the back, we see a Mega-Vite Synthafoods store.
Synthafood.
Synthetic food.
Yep.
You may now give the line.
Thank you. Eat synthetic food, recycled food. It's good for the environment and okay for you.
I literally had that in my notes for you to write. The judge outside is on his radio talking to Judge Dredd as everyone's coming out with their hands up.
Nah, no problems here, Dredd. They're crumbling like synthapie. Most of them weren't even armed. Weird.
No way.
It's like they were just a bunch of desperate guys in a bad situation.
Yeah, it seems like these are just mostly innocent civilians. I don't get it.
I don't know why I would have killed thousands of them. Well, I'm gonna go home now and meet my wife.
Yep, gonna make love to my wife and not think about anything else. Dredd says, no way to run a revolution. Another message came in to Dredd.
Control to Dredd. We've located Mayor Grubb. He was having a squidge bath at his club.
Oh, PK. He was having a squidge bath. We should have thought of that. When I think of Mayor Grubb, I think squidge bath. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
why did you think of anything else?
Why would we not? What word is squidge replacing? What words? Mud bath? It's already one syllable. You're squidge? Typically words get shortened.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Dredd says is like a new synthetic mud because
synthetic mud
because the Earth is so irradiated they have to make synthetic mud.
Is synthetic mud just like melted plastic? I wonder. Just plastic and sawdust. You just like. Probably. I don't know. But Judge Dredd is looking at, he's listening to this. Mayor Grubb isn't here.
Right.
But he's looking at the guy with the hood right in front of him.
Tied to the chair.
Then who do we have here? And which he pulls the hood off and reveals a pizza parlor guy. He's got pizza parlor on his head. He's got another little hat.
Just like the president, dog-eared.
He doesn't look...
Fitch.
Dog-eared Fitch. He doesn't look like he's all there either. And he says to Judge Dredd,
"Don't send me away. I was just came in to deliver a pizza. They grabbed me and tied me up and said I was the mayor. But I'm not."
"I can see that, citizen." I love this pizza guy's like, "Guys, you gotta believe me. I'm not the mayor."
I'm not the mayor.
And everyone's like, "We know."
Whoa!
Believe me, dude.
If
we
he's
know.
not the mayor, then who is?
Who the fuck? Wait a minute. Who was the mayor the whole time?
He's in the squidge bath.
Judge Dredd is thinking to himself now, this whole revolt is just too insane. There's got to be something more to it. Maybe the answer lies in the building itself. I'll have the tech boys do a complete skanalysis. Okay, do you miss these words? Skanalysis makes sense, okay?
It is. It's a scanning and an analysis.
Yeah.
It's a good portmanteau.
Squidge, not so much. So now, the tech boys hit on it right away. We got a guy, we've seen tech boys before.
We've seen, they had judge uniforms where they have, instead of the usual helmet, they have
all kinds of radio equipment.
backpacks and all kinds of high-tech equipment for skanalyzing.
Skanalyzing, that's even a better word of it. Go for it, PK. What's his tech boy saying?
Something strange here, Dredd. Strong subsonic vibrations. This block is being bombarded with low-frequency sound waves.
Where do they come from?
The air.
No, read the line.
The Patsy and Noble block.
Big
Which
reveal.
they camera pan, or not, they show it
Basically, Patsy and Noble, they show it from the doorway
of the crumbling
Sonny Bono
block. Yeah.
A search of the neighboring Patsy and Noble block soon reveals
remembered
a
this.
sonic wave generator in the block Sun Park. So, PK, describe what we're looking at, if you would.
We have a bunch of we've described them as militia before, because
It's like a city death. They call themselves city death
and they are mega block, mega building
militia.
people. They guard, they police and guard the mega building, because judges are very busy and rare.
Yes.
It's very hard to become a judge, and they have to do all of Mega City 1.
Yes.
So there are lesser
local
policemen.
defense.
It's Space Marine versus Imperial Guard.
This is exactly what we're looking at, yes.
Okay.
But what do they have, PK?
They have a sonic gun.
Okay. What does a sonic gun look like, would you say?
It looks like a fucking sci-fi death ray.
It's a giant sci-fi death ray. Like, it's
Aimed
real big.
out the window at their neighbor that no one fucking noticed.
I mean, it looks big. It looks like
something fucking Dr. Eggman would have.
It looks like a combination of something that Dr. Eggman would have and like a World War II howitzer.
That's true. It looks like you have to sit on it.
Just on the fucking balcony. It's like pointing at the
those
building.
those fucking mounted guns on like a gunship.
Oh yeah, that kind of
like
shit.
they have a guy in the seat and like the whole thing turns.
Oh yeah, it looks kind of like that. It's not small. It's not unnoticeable.
No.
And Judge Dredd is saying to them, "All right, who's responsible?"
Like it's a fucking little prank. Like someone spat their gum out and you stepped in it.
We give you this giant sonic wave generator gun and tell you not to use it.
And you aim it at your neighbors.
We told you not to use it.
Oh, someone's in trouble.
It comes with every building. Go for it, PK, for their response.
We are Judge Block City Death, but it was self-defense.
He continues.
This used to be a fine place to live in, till they made Sonny Bono in a problem block. Now the neighborhood's full of thugs and layabouts, garbage all over, and kids scrolling on the walls. It's disgusting. Something had to be done, so we thought we'd kill them.
No, maybe not kill them. We'll
we
see.
destroy the building with these low-frequency waves until it collapses.
He's going to explain his reasoning here, but we get a close-up of this gentleman, and he's wearing the City Death helmet, and he's kind of cross-eyed.
Yeah,
We've talked about the fact that the average IQ in Mega City 1
is lukewarm at best.
is
below 100.
I'm gonna say it's about room temperature water. It's not great.
It's idiocracy.
This is idiocracy, kind of. This guy continues on.
So we used our sonic wave gun that we have
They never explain why.
on Sonny Bono.
Yeah.
We set it low, see, so the sound waves would make the building crumble slowly, and then be condemned. And those problem solvers would be moved somewhere else. Not in my backyard, though.
We talk about the NIMBY attitude
Yeah.
here. Dredd thinks to himself, That explains the block revolt. Low-frequency sound waves can have a powerful effect on the mind. Powerful enough to turn a whole block crazy. Charges against the Bono blockers were dropped. Later, Dredd summoned the city housing...
Oh, we skipped the whole panel.
Oh, did we? Sorry, my bad. We skip over...
We did it for a good reason, Judge.
You'll do a time for a better one, citizen.
And
Move!
That's a good Judge.
That's
Dredd
the
one.
line. That's
Yeah.
the... Thank
You'll
you.
do time for a better one.
You remember that. That's the line. There's always a line.
Yeah.
That's the line. Charges against the Bono blockers were dropped. Later, Dredd summoned the city housing governor. It's the same guy we saw earlier who was
Right.
like going through everything. You knew about these cracks, yet you failed to condemn this building. That just cost you your job. Before you hand in your credentials, I want these people rehoused.
But where, Judge Dredd?
I understand there are some vacant apartments in Patsy and Noble. Try there for a start.
Because I arrested everyone there for the actions of about 10 men.
I don't know about everyone. I don't think he's saying everyone.
Well,
It's
yeah.
the city death, basically.
But, okay, but they have to move entire buildings with the people into the next building over. But city death is I'm assuming this entire crowd is all of them.
Well, I'm assuming that that might be all of them.
So we're going to be taking all the problem people and now moving them into a
Now overpopulated block,
overpopulated.
definitely. And so the residents of Patsy and Noble prepared to welcome the new residents, and we have a same kind of cut from beforehand.
Yeah.
Same people.
Just like a caravan of people moving in.
Yep, and we got someone saying, "Oh, mercy," and the little kid saying,
Where's my squirrel can, Ma?
"Kinda pretty, ain't it? Makes you sick." And that's gonna end up, PK, with the end of this one. The fucking problem with Sonny Bono. So let's talk about this, shall we? The Sonny Bono block, settings and places. Formerly a new and well-to-do housing block, it has been declared a problem block, after which problem families are moved in. More on that coming soon. It has at least 50 floors. We know this. I did not know much about Bono before this, but
I know a bit about Sonny Bono. Comedian, musician, actor from
politician.
Yeah. From Rhode Island?
Well, let me find out. Salvatore Philip Sonny Bono, born February 16th, 1935, died January 5th, 1998, was an American singer, songwriter, actor, and politician who came to fame in partnership with his second wife, Cher, as the popular singing duo Sonny and Cher.
They had a variety show.
A member of the Republican Party, again, this is before currently member of the Republican Party, Bono served as the 16th mayor of Palm Springs, California, from 1988 to 1992, and served as the U.S. representative for the California's 44th District from 1995 until his death in 1998.
I thought it was East Coast, but he was West Coast.
Yes.
I know he died skiing. That's why I thought he was up in the East Coast.
Interesting. I did not know that. The United States Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998, which extended the term of copyright by 20 years, was named in honor of Bono when it was passed by Congress 9 months after his death. Mary Bono, his widow, had been one of the original sponsors of the legislation and commonly known as the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act. So that's why
We
Disney...
can't. That's why Mickey Mouse isn't fair use yet.
well,
Or
now
free
he is,
use.
I think. No, he's not. Is he?
I don't
No, I
know.
think he is. I think he just recently
I think he
became.
just did.
I think he just recently became. Other settings in place. We have Mega-Vite Synthafoods, synthetic food eatery of the future. PK, normally at this point I would give you permission to say your favorite line from the 1995 Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd movie, but you already used it, so it's
I do
fine.
love it. I've already said it twice this episode.
That's fair. Pizza Parlor. No information given, but we know someone works there. And the Patsy and Noble block, located next to the Sonny Bono block, their City Deaf members have a sonic wave generator and try to drive the people out of the neighboring Sonny Bono block.
And also bombard their brains with low frequency waves, possibly doing irreparable damage.
I love the fact that it's like, yeah, we have this.
Yeah.
Do we need it?
What
No.
possible reason could they have? I was thinking of there's no way to. It doesn't repair anything.
Okay, I'm gonna get angry at myself for this. My thought is, maybe if you set it to a certain frequency, you could drive off pests and stuff.
That's an idea.
But that's very generous, though.
The other idea I had was they have to do construction on the building itself. Maybe it's a safe way of demolishing part of the building.
I don't know about that. I mean, if Patsy and Noble is an upright, well-to-do, there's better ways than having a giant.
What's
and
cooler?
also, you
What's
can't
cooler
use
in
it
a better way?
indoors.
You can't use it indoors. It's giant. It's a howitzer.
Yeah.
It's got to be aimed somewhere, man.
It has to be aimed outward.
Yeah. My thought is maybe it's to drive away like pigeons or some shit. I don't know. But that's still pretty generous, considering they don't give us anything. However, Patsy Patricia Ann Ruth Noble, born February 3rd, 1944, died January 23rd, 2021, was an Australian singer and actress. Initially performing as Patsy Ann Noble, she was a teenage pop singer in the early 1960s with regular appearances on the music and variety television series Bandstand, which I've heard of before. In November of 1961, she released her biggest hit single, Good Lookin' Boy, which reached the top 10 in Melbourne and top 20 in Sydney, so Australian, right? At the 1961 Logie Awards, she won the Best Female Singer of the Year award from TV of the Week. By 1962, she had transferred to the UK and had continued her singing career by releasing singles there. In 1965, Noble started her television acting career, and by 1967, she was Trisha Noble, using Trisha Noble as her stage name.
Right.
By the 1970s, she had relocated to the United States and had her guest roles on various television series, including The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Columbo, Beretta, Macmillan and Wife, The Rockford Files, and Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, which I've heard of just in passing.
I've heard of the parody more than that.
Oh,
Duck Dodger.
Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I'm more familiar with.
That's
But I
the one
have
I'm
heard of
familiar
Buck Rogers as classic sci-fi.
In 1983, Noble returned to Australia, where she also pursued a career as a theatrical actress. In 2005, though, Noble had a minor role in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, as, is it Lobel or Jobal Nabiri?
Jabba.
No, she was not Jabba.
Oh.
Look what's happening over
I
there.
was playing with the crab. So happy. Sleep in the hammock.
So she was Jobal Naberi, a mother of lead character Padme Amidala, and thus the maternal grandmother of Luke Skywalker
and
Leia Organa.
Yeah.
So that's the main character's grandma.
Wow. Okay.
So she has ties back to sci-fi.
Yeah.
There we go.
It goes all the way around.
Comes all the way back around. Characters, though. We have Mayor Grubb, still mayor, owns a club now.
Or goes to a spa.
Well, it says he's in he's in his club.
Oh, okay.
So I imagine he either has a regular place or he owns a club. I would not be surprised if he owned one. But this is the same guy who danced like a chicken for Judge Cal.
Yep.
Way back in the day. And also, it's still unknown if this is the same mayor whose
Whose son...
His son,
got
Judge
killed
Dredd, rescued.
In Prague 2?
4.
Four.
The Brotherhood of Darkness. Yeah. That was... We were like, there's a mayor? Yeah, there is a mayor.
We were from Mayor Grubb, but yeah, the mayor's son was kidnapped by the Brotherhood of Darkness.
I would love to have that answered at some point in time. We have Dog Ear Fitch, leader of the independent city of Sonny Bono. Did not actually kidnap Mayor Grubb, has one dog ear, and is appropriately named.
He must be a mutie, but mutated just enough to where he can stay within the city, because sometimes they purge the muties and
we know
send them out to the
they
wastes.
haven't really talked. We know that there's been a mutie purge that was discussed at one point in time. We don't know what the demarcation is on that.
No, we don't know how.
But also, maybe he had like uglification done. Now that's a problem. We don't know if that's a mutie or if people are just ugly. You know,
He could, yeah.
I mean, irradiation could be a thing.
There's gotta be a way to tell. There has to be like a blood test or something.
You would think so, right?
I would think. Okay, so what the judges probably do is they line the people up and they test their purity.
Wow. I mean, we do already have problem families. We're gonna get to that in a second here.
And the ones that aren't pure enough have to wear armbands.
Ooh, armbands need to go for it. Just come back from the rally, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone was wearing
May
it.
take your hats, coats, and swastikas.
I love producers so much.
There's someone handing them out.
Items and technology of note. We have scrawl cans, which we know are spray cans because of Un-American Graffiti. We have a vid link, which we know is a video link, pretty self-explanatory. We have Synthapie, which...
Synthetic pie, synthetic
pie,
foods is something.
As to what... Is it synthetic meat, you think, or synthetic fruit?
You know, I always thought synthetic fruit, but then I realized this is a British written comic, so
We're
it could
probably
be...
thinking meat, probably.
It could be
a meat pie.
Yeah.
And then we also have this little thing called a sonic wave generator.
That's
capable of generating strong subsonic vibrations.
Does exist. It is technology.
I mean, yeah.
that we have
it's
now.
called a subwoofer.
I was thinking, what are those things that they put in to break up your kidney stones?
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh man, yeah, I've never had it, but I had a friend who had a kidney stone, and instead of like peeing it out, they put a fucking speaker to his stomach and blast it to pieces so it wouldn't the pain
Jesus
wouldn't
Christ.
the pain wouldn't be so bad out of his pee hole.
That's like, yeah, we used the laser to cut out the part of your brain that had the bullet in it. And then it's like, I don't know if this is a good idea, guys. But this sonic wave generator, is capable of producing strong subsonic vibrations that can slowly break down concrete and affect the minds of a whole block. Only problem with this is, if it can break down concrete, it can probably break down fucking everything else too.
Right.
And these people probably should be sludge. Like, I think that...
It was such a low frequency, the guy said.
I think that a person is probably gonna break sooner than concrete. I think if you put the hardness... Maybe it's the hardness that makes it more susceptible. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
okay, I mean...
I'm just gonna
look
say
at the spell Shatter from D&D.
Yeah, you're right.
It shatters
you're right.
crystal and metal and stone.
This is... We're comparing... apples to donuts now. I don't think this is the right
It's
comparison.
sci-fi fantasy, but it's still thunder damage.
I think we're looking at like sound travels better through hard substances, I guess, than soft substances like water. But why do they have a giant sound gun, PK?
Like I said, the only thing I can think of is possible construction.
I think
or to
demolition,
your idea,
maybe.
Yeah, your idea was actually much better to scare away pests.
Or drive away pests or like bugs or pigeons or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, terrible slang made up words.
Whatever reason we have, we're really reaching for
We're really reaching for it. Terrible slang made up words. Judge Dredd one-liners. Segregation was the answer. Woo, boy, what a quote.
They have footage of us saying that.
I think the comic tries to show us that no, segregation isn't the answer, but also fumbles that landing.
Back around at that.
I think it tries to do that and then fails at doing that.
Yeah.
More on that later. I love the line, negotiate that, creeps. And also...
a judge.
We did it
here to negotiate.
We did it for a good reason, Judge. You'll do time for a better one, citizen. Great line. Great line. We also have Squidge Bath, which, again, no fucking clue.
I'm assuming maybe it's some kind of like...
Sponge?
Premium mud loaded with nutrients.
Maybe it's just like squidge. Sounds like a squeegee.
Maybe it's an alien and they take its mucus and they squidge it out.
Maybe squeegee was already a thing at this point in time.
Yes.
Maybe squidge is just something else. Maybe a squidge is a new sponge. Maybe. We also have skanalysis, which is fun.
It's a fun portmanteau, yeah.
We also have no monsters. Turns out, monsters man.
It's man.
Turns out it's man. World building, though. Mega City 1 has a housing committee, more bureaucracy, which can designate problem blocks. This is effectively a form of redlining for ex-criminals, rent dodgers, and known troublemakers. This committee can declare entire blocks a slum as well. But, can we also talk about the fact that they can just label people as problem families? That's pretty fucked. That's, like...
Totalitarian... authoritarian?
Yeah, that's
the entire judge system, Andy.
That's pretty fucked. How do you become not a problem family?
I guess.
And how much do your children suffer for it?
I'm going to assume.
Okay.
In this totalitarian, under the thumb rule of the judge system in the future.
Okay.
The way to become a problem family is to have any member of the family committing crimes or being a lawbreaker.
Okay.
And the way not to become a problem family, get rid of that status, is to donate to the judge's.
Oh, it's a pay-as-you-go thing.
I'm assuming that.
I would guess it'd be more of a you have to go X amount of time without any infractions kind of thing.
That's a more hopeful version of
they're much more bureaucratic about anything than they are about monetary, really.
I was thinking like the Night City Police Department.
That would fit with Night City, not so much I think Mega City.
Okay, you're probably right.
We'll see though. Maybe we'll see. We also see some intelligent apes for the first time in a while. Hey, love those. We also
nice callback.
We get some tech boys, which haven't gotten an official designation as a term for them yet, but we have seen tech boys in the comic before. These judges come equipped with equipment. They come equipped
with analysis equipment.
They've got equipment. Usually it's just whatever you need at the time.
Yeah. As the prog calls for it, they have what solves the problem.
they can at least detect sound waves. We know that much. City Def, as we have gathered before, are most likely local volunteer officers within city blocks. Self-policing makes sense.
We saw City Def running a drill for nuclear bombardment
During
the
a nuclear
Oppenheimer-
bombardment at the Oppenheimer block. Yes.
where it was bombed by a nuclear weapon.
Yep.
The day they were testing
Yup.
at
That
the
happened.
Robert Oppenheimer block.
Yup. That was a thing.
The biggest what's it? The biggest killer in Mega City? Irony.
Yeah, ironic or poetic justice or ironic death is the most deadly thing in this city.
Who was the crazy judge that down and a statue of a judge fell on him?
Oh my god. A statue of a judge fell on a guy? Is this the statue of Judgment?
Justice?
Statue of Judgment?
Yeah.
There was it would have been early in the
It was
fucking
very
Progs.
early
I
on.
can't remember for the life of me. We're going to keep moving, though.
Yeah.
The Housing Committee has employees called housing conveners who are supposed to respond to complaints, inspect, or even condemn city blocks. And overall, there's a lot of a NIMBY attitude, not in my backyard attitude, and anti-segregation, but also pro-segregation stuff going on
They
here.
fumble. They have an anti-segregation message, but they fumble it. Is what I'm getting.
They don't do a great job of it. They understand the assignment, but they don't stick the landing.
Right. Segregation is bad. Why?
We'll show you why. And then we're going to show you why it's actually the answer.
Okay.
Wait, no. Rehousing the problem citizens into in quotes, into Patsy Ann Noble block does count as ironic justice.
I also like that this is pop star versus pop star.
Pop star versus pop star.
Patsy and Noble versus Sonny.
Oh,
Bono.
you're right. That is technically right. So are they making a meta commentary about which of the two is a more like nice or cool pop star that they prefer?
Maybe. Or is it just like pop star names?
We also do know that a lot of mega blocks, city blocks are named after famous people throughout history as well as European entertainers.
Yes.
That's been a big thing.
Yes.
Because it's a British made prog. But I am so confused about the tone of this prog. Is it anti-segregation? Is it pro-segregation? What is the message here?
It feels like it's anti-segregation, but they show the positives of segregation.
I feel like
but it could be good.
I feel
but
like
it's bad.
The
maybe.
message might just be don't use science beams to hurt people.
People were digging way too deep into it.
It's a comic book.
Don't sonic beam your neighbor.
Is there anything else about this comic you want to go over, PK?
No, it was a nice little bubble episode. It was just Judge Dredd doing his judgely duty.
Doing his thing. We are going to move right along to Prog 209, The Mega-Rackets 1, which is called Body Sharks Part 1. So there's a two-parter of Body Sharks, but this is a mini arc of sorts, which deals with
the
organized
seedy
crime.
underbelly of organized crime within Mega City 1.
Yes, we got into this. We never made it very far into this.
No.
Do you remember what a body shark is, PK?
Do they kidnap people who are cryogenically frozen and ransom them back?
You're not super far away from it. I'm going to let you get to it. Let's find out. This prog was released April 25th, 1981. Script by T.B. Grover. Again, John Wagner and Alan Grant working in tandem. Our artist is Colin Wilson. And letters by our boy Tom Frame. Let's look at what we got going on here. PK, right off the bat, it says Mega-Rackets, Judge Dredd, Crime File 1, Body Sharks. You would read what a body shark is for me, PK?
Body sharking. Illegal dealing in the bodies of living humans possess the highest growth rate among Mega City 1's organized crime rackets. Statistically, one citizen in every 4 will have dealings with a body shark during his lifetime.
Right there.
They don't explain a damn thing, Andy!
So, illegal dealing in the bodies of living humans. That could mean a lot.
Yeah, that's very vague.
Yes. But also, it says it is the highest growing, type of illegal crime.
Okay.
Of, organized crime. And that 1 in 4, 25%, that's 200 million people will have some influence with a body shark at their time in Mega City 1. That's a shitload of people.
And it's only growing.
That's insane.
But what is it? I guess because it's so vague.
We've got a pretty cool, half of each page across two pages spread.
2 half-page panels.
We've got people outside of we see a place called Ratner's Rest Home for the Semi-Dead. And
this has got to be a shot at like an old folks retirement home, right?
something like that. We see cut price semi-internment. Try out our easy pay plan. And there is a guy in a super space futuristic suit.
I do look at this fucking hospital or EMT guy.
Yeah, he looks like he's got...
He has replaced both his arms with 3 tentacles each.
Yeah, with grippies on them. That's super cool.
They each have like a different tool at the end.
There's like a medevac, which there's got a guy outside smoking or something. The people are looking as this tech med guy is like pushing a cyber... So this tech guy is pushing what's like, I can only describe it as like a cyber stretcher.
Yeah, it's
with a guy inside it. Very old person. And there's a young, beautiful woman coming with him. I will read this because it's kind of on the page turn.
It's in the crease and it's hard to read.
By the year 2103, many cut-price homes for the semi-dead had sprung up in Mega City 1.
Cut-price homes for the semi-dead.
We have this has been introduced before.
Yes.
We have seen this.
We've seen people like, I only have 45 minutes, or I only have an hour to live.
And
so
they
I
freeze
was like, yes. I'd like to come out every Christmas.
Here, dying citizens could be placed in suspended animation to spin out their last hours into years, and at a price the ordinary citizen could afford.
And then we talk about the sheer amount of
Upkeep.
energy this would cost.
It's not...
And they do it to criminals, too.
But here's the thing. They are saying right now, it is at a price the ordinary citizen could afford. And it makes sense if 1 in 4 people have dealings with body sharks, and that involves, cryogenics. This makes sense. I don't know how it makes sense, because it shouldn't be affordable, but it is, apparently. And this medevac guy is saying, hurry, this patient only has 45 minutes to live.
And we're going to draw it out to 45 years. He gets a minute every year.
Probably more so, honestly. Of course, at those prices, the service was anything but fancy. And
As the guy goes sliding...
He, shoves the fucking hover stretcher
through
through a pair
the
of
double doors.
As he says...
Another freezer chicken for you, Joe. As we see this surly,
just
stubble-covered man,
grubby,
squinty-eyed, hairy knuckles.
Look like the guy. If it was the guy who was cooking you a sandwich behind the counter,
He looks like This is the dig. Do you remember Mission Hill, the cartoon on Adult Swim in the early mid 2000s?
No.
He looks like a guy from that series, but with more stubble.
He looks like a 1960s version of a Smiling Friends character to me.
Yes.
The nearly departed would be pumped full of cryogenic drugs and quickly frozen with liquid nitrogen, as they're injecting this old man in his wrist with liquid cryogenic drugs.
Yeah.
I imagine his
beautiful granddaughter
is patting him, saying, "Don't worry, Granddad. I'll wake you up every 3 years. We can have a nice chat."
Let me die.
He is not saying that.
No.
But there was another, more sinister side to the cut-price body shops. And we see a gentleman and lady.
Like a nice Rhett Butler pencil-thin mustache.
Yeah, I got a John Waters mustache going on. What? I love
John Waters.
I love John Waters.
Any John Waters from his Aces with Me.
All right. He's got his hat in his hands. They're wearing 1920s futuristic clothes.
Yeah. Pseudo-futurism.
Pseudo-futurism. He's saying, if you'd like.
We'd like a private interview, please. It's about your special service.
Oh, we turn the page. They were a front for the body sharking racket, which is they being the rest homes for the semi-dead.
Yeah.
And we have them talking in the back room to a guy who's got a bow tie on. Go for the guy again.
It's the same guy.
Same guy.
There's a job going on at the Zyclops factory.
Yes, PK.
I'm cert to get it.
Yup.
All you need is 5,000 creds to bribe the foreman.
And you want... that's Judge Dredd. And you want us to give you a loan, Mr. Hides. We'll need some form of, security.
You can have my wife! Take my wife! Please!
He is just hands on, pushing his wife forward. You can have my wife,
And she looks like... They've talked about it before, but she doesn't look happy with it. She
looks upset.
Yeah.
Sad. Downtrodden, even. And now we see the same gentleman with the pencil-thin with John Waters' mustache leaving with a fistful of dollars, as he says back to his wife, who's leaving with the gentleman.
When I get the job, I'll work like mad, Hilda. I'll have you back home in a year. 3 at most.
Almost got a spit take out of you right
It'll
there. 3 at most, tops 10.
It'll all be for the best. You'll see.
And she says, "You explained it all before to me, dear. Don't forget to water the plants."
So
I love that.
they
3 at most.
they take these people and they put them in crowd. Like,
Yep.
the people are
Collateral. Yes.
And then they take loans
Yes.
and to pay them.
Why
Why wouldn't you just go to a bank where the collateral is your not wife?
Well, maybe the value of creds has maybe dropped in such a way, it's because you're trading. It's like a pawn thing, but you're not pawning it. It's very dumb. We're gonna talk more about this. We're gonna talk more
I like
about
it.
this.
It's a pawn thing, but it's not pawn. It's very dumb.
We're gonna get more into this.
Also, 3,000 creds. How much does it cost to put a person on ice?
5,000 creds.
How much does it cost to put a person in cryogenically for the drugs, the energy to cost to freeze them, the space you could get for someone who's actually paying?
I mean, if you think
Is
about
the
it, right,
loaner losing money on this deal?
we're supposed to be kids.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
this
okay,
is the
yeah.
thing. We're
supposed to be dumb British kids.
You're supposed to be dumb British kids who this is a crazy idea to.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
All right.
The security being the collateral, aka Mrs. Hines, was taken to a secret body bank in the city, and they're placed in suspended animation. Body sharkers' interest rates were astronomical, but borrowers had good reason to pay.
Okay, so the interest rates where they get their money back.
Yes, that's how they make
All
the
right.
money back.
Also, you are right. This is an interesting idea.
And we're
If we
supposed to be
don't,
children.
if we don't look into it too
If we
much.
don't think about it, it's fine.
If we don't think about it, it's pretty cool.
One of the guys who's freezing the wife says, "If the mug don't keep up with the installments, his wife don't ever wake up." But again, you wouldn't want to keep her forever because
No,
it costs money to do so.
You would take her to the body plant, or you would.
Resources cost something. We're children, PK. Big time criminals also availed themselves of the body shark services. And we've got 3 criminal types. One guy who's wearing a derby cap kind of thing.
We have a clear leader and 2 goons.
A leader and 2 goons. The leader is saying,
Me and the boys need 100,000 creds to finance a big heist.
to which the same body shark guy is saying, "I'll have to check this with the boss." The top racket's boss, Remington Ratner, controlled most of the city's body outlets. That's a weird way of saying that. And those guys are talking to each other. We've got a guy saying, "It's Mort, Pell Mell Street branch. The Mungo brothers won 100 grand. They're offering their mother as security." So the 3 guys were the Mungo brothers. They're actually Mungo brothers.
Okay, yeah.
They're offering their mother as security.
Okay.
All right.
I remember this now. I remember the Mungo brothers specifically.
Now we have Remington Ratner. We have a handsome black gentleman with a fedora saying,
Tell Mort okay, but they'll pay back double by the end of the week.
so you're borrowing $100,000 to pay back 200
So hopefully the take is
over 200.
Yeah,
This is basically a payday loan, but we're involving mother.
It's a payday loan, but the collateral is your mother is being frozen.
Yeah, that's a bad payday loan.
No.
You can just borrow the money.
But at the end of the day, it's interesting.
It also in a way, it's purely better for business. When you look at it from a business standpoint, you are less likely to go back on your thing when a loved one's involved.
If the collateral is a loved one they have in their grasp.
There is a type of phrase or word for a price that you are never going to be unwilling to pay, which is hey, it's $100,000 to keep your heart going. Well, it's $100,000. I have to pay it.
Right, pay or die.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. It kind of fits in this whole cyberpunk genre in a way.
It does.
The Mungo brothers spent 800 creds on a case of champagne to celebrate their big coup. Big coup? Is it coup? Coup? Coup.
Yeah.
The rest they spent on hiring a flying forklift for the heist. So PK, they purchased. They're doing a heist.
Yes.
And they purchased a flying forklift. They didn't rent it.
They bought it outright.
They bought it outright in cash.
At least it was in cash, not like they signed a check like the Mungo brother
for the heist. They wrote on the check.
on the memo line.
Yeah.
For the big heist to get our
big
money
heist
back.
tomorrow, you know? And it's just like, I love that. But they're flying this flying forklift, which looks like a hover wagon. It's got these 4 clamps below it. Bullion van just ahead, and we see the shunk of the big clamp coming down.
Yeah, the big crane.
It's every Pokemon heist. It's every Rocket League terrible idea.
Why would you steal the van?
I feel like it's fucking. You do this in GTA 5 for one of the heists. Is you get a giant
magnetic. You know what? You're right. I think that is one of the heists. I miss playing GTA 5. Heists.
We had some,
Bird Boys.
The Bird Boys!
Bird Boys.
Gotta fly!
Gotta fly. That was some fun times.
We're walking in a circle, flapping our arms in our bird masks.
If there's one thing I do hope they bring back for GTA 6, which I'm not even sure I'm going to buy, if it
has
back
GTA
heists,
Online and heists, I'm going to buy it.
I'm probably going to do that. I probably will. But anyways, this bullion van, gold bullion we assume, is getting lifted off, but unfortunately, the Mungo brothers were a little out of their weight calculations.
It's too heavy. Can't get any more height.
And we see the bullion van is just getting off the road, but here comes Judge Dredd rearing from the sidelines, firing at them. It's Judge Dredd! Release the forks!
They won't open, they're jammed! As Judge Dredd opens fire.
Judge Dredd
with his pistol from his motorcycle.
Shoot first, quip later.
Yeah.
Shoot first, quip later. The Mungo brothers, the flying forklift proved an unwise investment. That's a great line.
Yeah.
For the Mungo brothers, the flying forklift proved an unwise investment. And Vince
Vince
gets
is shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Through the lapel of his coat.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a cool way to show someone getting shot fatally, but not being overly gory about it.
But then again, we've had recyc recently.
Yeah.
We've seen dead bodies and rivers of gore.
We've seen conveyor belts
of dead bodies, which is, I don't know how they're getting around the, not this comic book authority or whatever it is.
I don't know if that was in England, but
there's got to be something equivalent, right?
Yeah, they do.
I may have to do some research on that.
Yeah. But I just like that shot of getting shot through the lapel to show fatal shot, but you don't have to see a blood spurt.
Yeah. Though there is a blood spurt, kind of. I mean, it's more just an impact. I don't know.
It's a cool panel.
It is.
Is what I'm getting at.
Citizen Hines' visit to the body sharks had also proven unwise. We see Citizen Hines now missing his wife. Same kind of trench coat and fedora, same pencil-thin mustache, and a line of people at this place. And he's thinking to himself,
"Crepes, look at the queue. Very British.
Oh yeah.
They're all after the job."
Mega City 1's high unemployment rate brought job hunters out in droves for any vacancy. PK, we're gonna get to it. Trust me.
We've talked about the 98%.
We've talked. It is 87%.
87%.
87% unemployment rate. I'll bring it back up. I promise you, I'll bring it back up. But one of the guys in the line is leaning back, looking at Hines, saying, "Ha ha! 5,000 creds. The foreman will laugh at a bribe like that." And Hines is thinking to himself,
"Some of these guys must have 50,000 at least. I'll never get that job. I already owe heavy interest on this loan." So he already owes more than he's taken out already.
Imagine you're taking out loans to pay for a bribe.
For a job
that you don't need. I'm going to bet my wife that I can get a job that I don't need the money for. But I just need the job.
I put my wife off as collateral.
This society doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
No sense at all. We turn the page. A further stroke of bad luck beset Citizen Hines a few moments later, as we see Judge Dredd chasing the Mungo brothers, now 2, who are flying with the flying forklift in the bullion van. It's Judge Dredd after a heist gang, and people are cheering him on. Judge Dredd, however, gets another shot. I don't know how. It must be a ricochet shot.
Yeah, he shoot through the back, and it comes through the windshield
and hits one of the Mungo brothers, right in the stomach, basically.
Yeah,
and they come crashing down into a giant kerthwam explosion, right? And the Mungo brothers are not looking great as Judge Dredd pulls them out of the wreckage.
Yeah, they've been shot and in a car crash.
A couple of them are dead. Get him, Judge Dredd!
Bash their thieving heads in!
Oh, that's more intense than I thought. Why don't they just get a job like normal folk? Which, again, we know.
When you say normal folk,
We also mean there aren't jobs.
Yeah.
There just isn't jobs. As the crowd surged forward to watch the arrest, Citizen Hines was mugged by another unsuccessful job applicant. And some guy has got like a
blackjack.
yeah, a little blackjack. Gimme! Whacks him on the back of the head. Gimme! I love
That's the best. Get it! Whack!
I love the idea of mugging someone and just the only thing is gimme! That's the you don't know what you want to give them, but you're gonna give it. Just give it! It's like, just as unintelligible as possible. Give it! Just like, oh Jesus, I'll give it to you. Oh, fine.
Oh shit!
As the crowd, as the crowd surges forward, he gets whapped, and Hines goes down. He's got like blood trickle over his head.
Yeah.
The two surviving Mungo brothers, so we know two of them lived.
Okay.
Were sentenced to 20 years. Soon after the news hit the streets, a body was found on the Megaway, and we see a couple judges out there. And I think it's they're not neither
Dredd.
It's old Widow Mungo.
Looks like body sharkers. Dredd will want to know about this.
The Mungo brothers refuse to talk, and we can see like this panel is cutting off the splat of the mother.
Another good, because
It's good editing. It's good like positioning.
It's
of
good
panels.
panel work.
Yeah, good panel work. The brothers are there, and one's got like the arm
in a
sling,
cast, and they
all
put
bruised
their
and
heads
shit.
down.
It's more than our lives are worth, Judge Dredd.
Ratner would kill us.
Yeah, PK, you noticed immediately the problem about the whole let's not confess, brother. No, listen, brother. They had to have had a conversation before this moment, right? Listen, whatever you say, you just don't say Ratner. Whatever you can't say, you could say our boss.
You got it, brother.
Don't say Ratner. Go
The
for
Mungo
it.
brothers refuse to talk. Ratner would kill us. Even in here, he'd reach us.
Son of a bitch. Like, oh, what are you doing? Just like they out Ratner immediately.
It's the fucking Family Guy bit. This is the second time talking about Family Guy. It's it's turned his whole life upside down. I don't care if it's turned his whole life upside down face.
Oh, Jesus. So good. Remington Ratner was uncooperative, and we see Judge Dredd on like a vid screen talking to Remington Ratner. He's got like a line of lawyers behind him.
Yeah.
I was talking to the Mungo brothers today. Your name came up in the conversation, Ratner.
You got nothing on me, Judge Dredd. If you're trying to link me to my Mungo killing, you better speak to my lawyers.
The firm Sedgwick.
And he is. I never noticed how fucking dapper he was.
He's got like the rose on his lapel.
He is.
He's got the scarf.
He reminds me of the Daredevil, the Kingpin from the Daredevil movie.
The Daredevil movie, yes. I can't think of what his name is.
Ving Rhames, R.I.P.
Yes, I'm gonna pull that up real quick.
He is a classy African American gentleman,
very, very
crime
classy.
lord.
I know Ben Affleck. I want the fucking what's his name? Kingpin.
Wilson Fisk.
Wilson Fisk was played not Vincent D'Onofrio. We want Daredevil film. Michael Clark Duncan. Yes. I only know him as the guy named Bear from Judgment Day. You come and get Papa Bear! Like when he's running from the cops. That was some funny shit.
Which one was in Talladega Nights?
Oh my god.
Don't you put that evil on me!
Don't you put that evil on me! Like, you gotta cut around the meat! I
get those two mixed up.
He's a great comedic actor. I love Michael Clark Duncan. Rest in peace, buddy.
You gotta cut around the meat!
You gotta cut around the meat! That shit had me dying in theaters. I don't think I saw that movie in theaters, but still, I thought it was hilarious. Anyways.
I saw that movie twice in theaters, I remember.
Oh.
Anyway.
Ratner says, you have to speak to my lawyers. The firms Sedgwick, Hedgwick, Fuster, and Frome never left Ratner's side. We have four different very, very,
very
lawyer.
They look like, okay, they're very
1920s gentleman lawyer types.
They have the atmosphere of like very serious bureaucratic.
Yes.
I will put you through so much red tape, you'll never touch me.
Very much. One of them with a bowler hat and a bow tie. The word of two criminals is worthless, Judge.
Mr. Ratner has a pharaoh-clad alibi for every day of his life. Pharaoh iron.
Yeah. I've good note on that. You judges are always pestering our client. It's harassment, do you hear?
Any more of it, and we'll make an official complaint to the chief judge.
And another judge is talking to Judge Dredd as he turns away from the camera.
You're stumped, Dredd. You can't. What?
You got it.
You can pick up the minnows in the body shark operation, but you'll never catch the big fish himself.
Yup. I don't know if he's saying it that way.
You're right. It was just a weird thing to say. It's a serious
minnows and sharks, you know?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You can pick up the minnows in the body shark operation, but you'll never catch the big fish himself. Ratner's lawyers are see to that.
Someday Ratner would slip up. Then the judges would pounce. Until then, his body shark operation would go on trading in human misery. As we see Citizen Hines, now without his hat, blood and crust smeared all over him, leaning on a ledge, looking out over a dark, foreboding cyberpunk setting.
Dystopia.
He's thinking to himself.
He's singing, I've seen things. Things you people
No.
can't...
No.
Oh, no,
What's he saying? He's thinking to himself.
I've lost everything now. Everything. When I can't keep up the payments on Hilda, the body sharks will kill her.
And that ends part 1 of the Body Sharks. Very cyberpunk ending, though.
Yeah,
right?
that is
Quintessential cyberpunk.
Yeah, that whole leaning onto the balcony over a tall, grungy city.
People trading in human misery. That's cyberpunk, man. That's so good.
People
love
go
that.
in, meat comes out.
We just turn the handle.
Turn the handle.
Every line. If I could. Okay. So, confession before we get into this. PK and I did watch the 2012 Judge Dredd movie.
Close to a year and a half ago.
And recorded an episode, but it got lost in the deletion of everything I have.
Now, we're going to do it again.
It's going to do it again.
But we want to do it when it's a little more out of memory. So we're thinking at the end of this case file.
End of this case files, when we get to it, we're going to do a very special episode. That will be it. So you have that to look forward to.
It's still not fresh in memory, but still on the fringes of it. I would like to be completely gone before I do it again.
I can't forget it. It's too present. It's too good.
Yeah.
It's still one of my favorite action movies.
It's so good, dude.
It's such a good movie. Okay, so Prog 209, the Mega-Rackets Part
Drug
1.
Bust. Perks resisted.
Looks like he went through it. Settings and places. We have Ratner's Rest Home for the Semi-Dead. A rest home for the semi-dead owned by Remington Ratner. It also provides the service of body sharking. Thanks to Mort, we know that there is a Ratner's on Pell Mell Street branch. Interesting side note here, it is mentioned casually that cryogenic freezing of bodies for years is a service affordable and available to the average citizen. Curious. This makes sense if it was a luxury service. It makes sense that if this was a luxury service, people wouldn't encounter this so fucking often.
Right.
But they do.
Okay, so the technology for freezing people it's
very available.
Yeah. Because, okay, compare this to earlier in Judge Dredd, we had President Bad Bob Booth.
Bad Bob Booth.
And his way of being frozen was they had to steal blood from nearby people.
They had to steal blood with vampire robots.
Robots.
So we've upgraded from vampire robots
to cryogenics.
Yes. So maybe it makes sense that cryogenics is actually pretty cheap to do. So maybe we can get over that.
We must have found a way to make it cheap, affordable, and easy to do.
So we got that. We also have a mentioning, you noticed this, PK, earlier, of the Cyclops factory. What was that, PK?
I don't know.
You're
What's a
absolutely
Cyclops?
no idea what it produces.
We just saw that there's an opening at the factory for a job.
Only information given is that they are hiring, which in Mega City 1 is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to more. Characters. We have Remington Ratner, owner of the Ratner's Rest Home. The Mungo brothers, Vince and two unnamed brothers, who offer their mother for a security deposit to fund a heist.
To buy the forklift.
The flying forklift. We have Ma Mungo, unseen and now dead
widow
mother.
Ma.
A dead mother of the Mungo brothers.
Oh, she didn't deserve all that.
Her life was worth 100,000 credits, or half of a good bribe, basically. Mr. and Mrs. Hines want a job at Cyclops. Hines wants a job at the Cyclops factory. Trades his wife to get the money for a bribe, which is so dumb. Still,
it's so sad,
it's unnecessary.
I mean, it sounds like it was necessary because it sounds like the guy
with a job.
That's true.
They don't.
That's
need
the
a
part.
job.
That's the part that's unnecessary.
We haven't had. Okay, here's the problem with this. We haven't had a note in this comic up to this point about what the homeless population is yet. If there is if 85% of people are homeless and destitute, that's something. That makes sense to me. But we haven't had that specified to us yet.
You're right.
So right now people are just everyone we've seen is living with robots. Robots do everything.
We've seen
God, robot took my damn job, and I gotta sit at home and head eggs into a bucket. That's what we've seen.
I'd love to give the fucking comic the benefit of the doubt.
He doesn't financially need a job. Maybe he needs one personally to feel like he's not a layabout. Because look at him. He was a sharp dressed.
I get that. I'm jobless. I know what this is like. But at the same time, man, taking out a loan.
You don't. To realize your personal goals, you don't need to put your wife on ice.
Yeah, that's not necessary. We also know Mort. Mort works at Ratner's rest home for the semi-dead. He's part of Ratner's body
Mort
racket.
can get a job. Well, Mort's also, I mean, it's organized crime, so he probably...
Yeah. Typically, we haven't had much... Take that back. We've definitely had organized... We haven't had organized crime that involved robots. There's been too many things have gone over. I'm sure there has.
Have we seen a robot mafia?
We haven't seen a robot mafia, but we've seen...
With clamps!
We have seen organized crime use robots.
Yes.
Not robots perpetuating organized crime.
You're right.
We also have Sedgwick, Hedgewick, Fuster, and Frome, a law firm in Mega City 1 that represents Remington Ratner.
Sedgwick, Hedgewick, Fuster, and Firm.
It reminds It reminds me of the fucking the Three Stooges, like the Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the lawyer jokes, like on the Simpsons, like hacky joke and done it. Love him and leave him. Family law.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I do love those jokes. I'm trying to think of the punchline, but I think it's just silly names.
Yeah. Items and technology of note. We have suspended animation requires a person to be pumped full of cryogenic drugs and then flash frozen with liquid nitrogen.
Which I think is how they do it now.
But it's also, I mean, now as in like our world?
Yeah.
I don't know if people get cryogenically frozen that much.
Probably not that much, but I think it's done. I
don't think so. I don't think we have that technology yet.
What about Walt Disney's head?
I don't think that's a real thing. I think that's just...
Is that just an urban myth?
That's an urban myth. Yeah, okay. That's just a myth. We also have champagne, spelled S-H-A-M, champagne.
Champagne from my real parents?
Fake champagne.
What's the line from 25th Hour? Real pain for my sham friends. Champagne for my real friends.
Wow, I like that.
Oh, that's a good movie.
We have a flying forklift. Definition is in the name. Costs about $999,200 credits to hire once or to buy. Nice round number, that. I like that.
Yeah. Because they bought a case of champagne and a flying forklift for the heist.
Yeah, 800 credits. That's what you're left with. We got a bullion van. I'm assuming that due to the name that this is a gold bullion. Does gold still have value in Mega City 1?
I don't know. Do they hold to the gold standard?
We have seen it used as currency in the Cursed Earth before.
You're right.
But not here. So maybe they're making Cursed Earth currency.
Maybe they're gonna print some Cursed Earth currency and start an underground racket.
I remember that happening when we were out in like the Cursed Earth looking for Owen Chrysler. There was like gold was mentioned. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the first non-credits thing. Terrible slang, made-up words, Judge Dredd one-liners. Mr. Ratner has a Pharaoh-clad alibi for every day of his life. Pharaoh, containing iron. That's what that means.
Yep.
We got CERT, short for certain. And then, until the Body Shark operation would go on trading... Until then, the Body Shark operation would go on trading in human misery. I fucking love that shit. That's a good line. Trading in human misery. That's a lot of Cyberpunk 2077.
Meat comes out. We just turn the handle.
No monsters. It was man. World building. First part of the Crime Rackets arc. While not exactly a story arc by definition, I am counting it as one since they ran concurrently and all fit the same theme, just like the Luna 1 arc.
Yep.
Body sharking. Illegal dealing in the bodies of living humans possess the highest growth rate among the Mega City 1's organized crime rackets. Statistically, 1 citizen in every 4 will have dealings with a body shark during their lifetime. 1 in 4! Holy shit, that is a crazy claim to make with 800.
1 in 4 people go to Ratner to get a loan and offer a loved one as collateral.
So they charge you ridiculous high interest rates, which is how they make their money back. And if you don't pay, they just keep the person and bleed you dry until eventually disposing of the body. So this kind of makes sense. The rates on body sharking
Except what did Ratner get back from both of those...
is a loss.
Yeah, both of those stories were a loss.
Yeah, both of them. Well, so far it's a loss.
Yeah,
he might make some money back on Hines, but he knows he's not getting anything back on the Mungo brothers. They're still alive. If they ever get out, he owns them, basically.
True. Also they tried to rat him out, so he double owns them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
how does he own them when he killed their mom?
I mean,
What's he have on him?
he has nothing on them now, but they owe him.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't have anything on
He's
them,
gonna show
but
up at the house and say, "No, you're gonna do this thing for me, or I'm gonna kill you."
yeah, if they ever get out, which probably never gonna happen. The rates on body sharking are shown to be quite extreme. The Mungo brothers take out a loan for 100,000 creds and are expected to pay twice back
By the
that
end of
within
the week.
which is that's like a payday loan. That's insane.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a.
but we're involving Ma. We're doing a Ma with a payday loan. That's pretty fucked. That's pretty it's pretty rough. Also, want to mention, no, I get that later. We are reminded at the top of this prog that it is the year 2103, still
Yep.
following that continuous timeline, baby.
2099.
Love that. Obviously, this prog could not exist without the prog 120, The Forever Crimes, which first introduced the concept of suspended animation.
Which was a sillier idea.
It was a sillier idea. We freeze people to keep
fill out
them-
their sentence.
Yeah. To get them healthy again so they can serve out their sentence, which is
My
even
God.
dumber. Another reference to the high unemployment rate in Mega City 1. Mr. Hines' entire reason for mortgaging his wife is to bribe a foreman in order to get the job. That he definitely doesn't need. He's selling his wife to afford a bribe to get a job he doesn't need. 5,000 creds is a low ball amount for a bribe, apparently.
Jobs are so scarce and people are so common.
Desperate, yeah. Some people are offering bribes up to 50,000 creds for the opportunity to get a job. This isn't like, hey, I get the job. This is like,
Maybe.
I want to be that fucking foreman.
Yeah,
He's making hand over fist for nothing. Man, there are some big wigs in finance who wish this was real. While we are never told what the job is, I like to imagine this is something completely miserable and mundane, like desanitation engineer. We have to go around making things dirty.
unclogging toilets.
No. Clogging toilets.
Oh, God.
So that someone else has to unclog them. Like a completely unnecessarily mundane job. Like, you have to be a desanitation engineer. So you dirty stuff.
So we can have a high sanitation engineer.
Like, they give you a bag of dust to spread around the office so someone else can clean.
So we're inventing jobs to perpetuate the economy.
I would love that. The job, the prog that will live in infamy, prog 118, City Block 2, rears its ugly head fucking once again on this punk cast. The narration told us back then, and it was confirmed with the Marlon Shakespeare shit, that it's 87% unemployment rate, which is exactly the same number originally given to us in 118. So it's still a thing. Only 13% of 800 million people are working. That's insane.
We have an excess of people, an excess of money, because we have robots,
Yeah.
but we lack jobs, so they have nothing to do.
Yeah,
And
which
leads to strange situations like, I think, what was the guy who said, I wanted to laugh, so I thought I'd rob a bank?
yeah, people have done that all the time. I can't narrow that shit down. It's literally the entire comic has been devil's hands, idle hands of the devil.
Yeah.
When
When people have nothing to do, they're at their worst. Is what is the comic.
that's the whole comic book.
It's the lesson we're
the
learning.
entire lesson, along with maybe segregation is bad, I hope. Judge Dredd sentences 2 surviving Mungo brothers to 20 years for attempted robbery at least. After the Mungo brothers are prevented from completing their heist by Dredd, Ratner dumps the body of Widow Mungo, probably off a city block, judging by the splatter. So once people can't pay the interest on the loan, the body gets dumped.
Old
which
Widow Mungo.
sounds about right. No reason to keep them.
Yeah.
This prog ends on a pretty fucking dismal tone.
Yeah.
I love the cyberpunk vibe here, and Mr. Hines looking out over the city from the balcony, covered in grime and blood. That is so very dystopian and so cyberpunk.
He's lost everything.
Like, how much of the game, Cyberpunk 2077, you just spend, like, looking out over balconies at this fucking torturous device
This
that
fucking
is the city.
cesspit.
This city, man.
Yeah.
Death count, though.
In
Vince,
Night City, it's not about how you live.
it's about how you go out.
Yeah.
You wanna burn out in a blaze of glory, or fade away?
A splash of love.
Never fade away.
Never fade away.
Death count. Vince Mungo is killed by Dredd during an attempted heist, and poor Ma Mungo gets dropped off a city block. PK, anything else you want to talk about for this prog that I missed?
No, it's a good look at the criminal underground.
It is?
And we have another African American character.
I'm a fan of that. We need more of them. More of them, and less of them bad guys, if I may say so myself.
We had Judge Giant. He was
Judge Giant's still around. He's still alive. He's
we haven't seen him in a
around
while.
for a long time. Just haven't seen him very much.
We had City Father Washington for a panel or two.
City Father Washington, I don't think was very early in the progs. Was not a character of color, unfortunately. No.
He wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Anyways,
The Human Torque was denied a bank loan.
All right, and we're back.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
We're back. We are coming back with Prog 210, the Mega-Rackets 1, Body Sharks 2. This prog was released May 2nd of 1981. Script, again, by T.B. Grover, John Wagner, and Alan Grant. Artist is Colin Wilson, and letters by Tom Frame. PK, we start off much like the last one, where we had Mega-Rackets up there by
Another
Judge
crime
Dredd.
file.
Another crime file, and it talks, again, about Body Sharks. It's the same
This is
exact...
crime file 1.
It is... That's why it's still Mega-Rackets 1. And so,
Was it crime file 1 in the last prog?
It was Crime File 1 as well.
Okay.
So this is all the same file, effectively, just about Body Sharks. It's a two-parter. It should be Crime Files 2, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not meta.
okay.
So, go for a read for the Body Sharks again, for those who haven't forgotten in the last half
Oh,
hour.
yeah, that's right. It is. It's the same exact text. I thought it might be a new
I don't think it is.
Body sharking, illegal dealing in the bodies of living humans, possesses the highest growth rate among Mega City 1's organized crime rackets. Statistically, one citizen in every 4 will have dealings with a body shark during his lifetime.
Citizen Hines was one of those statistics.
Oh yeah, that
Hines
dude.
was the last guy from the previous. Again, we see him there. He's got like a pretty grizzled jaw
That's
now.
Hines. I thought it was the other guy.
And he's got like the thin mustache. He's talking to someone on the phone. He's like in a futuristic phone booth.
That is a weird, unflattering profile of Hines.
Yeah,
His face looks more stocky than I was used to, because I didn't even recognize him.
I agree. If they hadn't told me Hines, I wouldn't have known. But he is talking on a corded cellular phone in a phone booth
Yeah.
to someone else, and he is saying,
I've had a bit of bad luck. Lost all my money. I'm afraid I won't be able to make payments on Hilda.
again, Hilda is his wife, who is held by the Body Sharks, right?
There's an angry-looking woman overlooking it. I'll be your new wife.
I'm
You
imagining.
can call me Hilda.
I think that is the person he's talking to on the phone. Is the thing
Oh,
we have a little
that's the
pop-out.
receptionist at the.
We have a little pop-out bubble right here. Come on, and I think it's the same person because they have the kind of the Anton
bowl
Chigurh-
cut,
yeah,
yeah.
bowl cut. That's too bad, Mr. Hines. You knew our terms when you got the loan.
That's the bow tie guy.
I think it is actually, yeah.
You can hardly see it because of the
Mort.
fold.
I think it's Mort.
Ironic.
Ironic. That's too bad, Mr. Hines. You knew our terms when you got the loan. We keep your wife in suspended animation until you repay us. If the first installment isn't paid by Friday, your wife's condition becomes permanent.
For a split second, I thought we keep her in suspended animation. If you don't pay us, we're gonna let her go.
We'll just free her.
We'll just
We'll let her go into the wild, like a releasing a goose.
Thanks.
Just like we'll let her go with all the other free range wives that we've let go. I don't know what's happening here. But
We're gonna free her from suspended animation.
and we see in the background the toe tag of Hines, Miss Hines is in like a glass
Oh,
case.
yeah.
And we see all the
And
kind of
the wall of
grimy-
cryogenic coffins.
Yeah, and it's not a great facility. It looks like a
It's all grimy and run down.
Yeah, it looks
There's
like-
stains on everything.
Remember that they said that the bodies for body sharking are moved to a secret body sharing facility, like a body storing facility. So this is not the back of the Ratner place.
Right.
This is some secret facility.
And I have to admit, like everything looks pretty grimy and staining, which
It's meant to.
that cyberpunk aesthetic of everything's kind of under a layer of
Grime
grunk.
and filth, yeah. This next image we have, though, looks a lot more like Hines. He's got the pencil-thin mustache,
Yeah.
the slick back hair, the hat, fedora, trench coat. Go for it. He's thinking to himself,
I can't let the body sharks kill Hilda. I've got to find the money from somewhere. I've got to.
Citizen Hines resorted to sneak theft via an open window in the Hardy Kruger block. PK, I can't help but notice.
Sneak theft gets me every time.
Sneak theft! What a crime. Dude, what are you into? I murdered a man.
I did some sneak thieving.
I'm gonna
It's
fucking murder another man.
It's such a British way of saying it's a he takey my bakey.
It is a very British slang.
Sneak thieving.
Sneak thief in the night. It's very much like he stole my biscuits. Like, it's very much that.
He stole my molasses and biscuits, he did.
But we see
He is opening a window.
He's opening, or it's via an open window in the Hardy Kruger block. So
and
he's
we see
just
a cool panel. I like the shadow across the floor.
Oh, I love it too. Good silhouettes. Being a rank amateur, his raid met with remarkable lack of success. As a woman grabs him over the shoulder, "I've got you, you dirty dog!"
The look on his face.
Oh!
How could I be caught sneak thieving?
Oh my god! And luckily for Citizen Hines, someone sent for a judge, because this old lady's beating the shit
She's
out of
got
him.
him like by the collar and
There's
fucking...
there's a man who's got his arms behind him.
Yeah.
And this old
I
lady
can't
is
tell if
just...
this guy is like trying to pin him down or trying to like, okay, he's had enough.
Okay, oh my god, like getting away from his wife.
Stop it. He's
murder
already dead.
And Judge Dredd is like got them out, and they're in like a hallway.
Yeah, overpopulated, dingy cyberpunk hallway.
It is very much looks like V's hallway in where they live.
Yeah,
in
in Mega Building H8.
I think that's it. Wow, good one.
Because I remember it was hate.
Oh, fun. Never thought about that. "You citizens are under arrest for assault," he says, pointing to them. But we turn the page, and Dredd is doing the fabulous Judge Dredd pose, hands on hips, elbows akimbo, over top of Mr. Hines, who is saying to him on his ass,
I was thieving, Judge Dredd. I admit it. I had to. The body sharks, they've got my wife and they're gonna kill her.
and as he's like groveling, literally like at Judge Dredd's boots.
Grabbing at his ankles, yeah.
Dredd is thinking to himself, "I need a break to nail the body sharks. This creep could be useful."
Creep.
No shit.
Wow, Dredd.
Also, no shit.
Dredd, you don't know anything about this guy. Is at the you're kind of at the bottom of his life, and you're just this
Here's
fucking dirty creep.
I think that Judge Dredd has two categories of people: lawbreakers and citizens.
yeah.
there's that.
Lawbreakers, potential lawbreakers.
Oh, but we know that lawbreakers, potential lawbreakers, judges. That's all there is. Three categories.
And even some of the judges.
Some of the
I'm iffy
judges
about.
could be potential lawbreakers. Back in his office, Dredd briefed Citizen Hines, and he's talking to him again. Hines is like hunched over in a chair. "You owe them 5,000 creds. Double that with interest. I know body sharks. They'd rather have the money than kill your wife. Their next step will be to take you to see her. Try to turn the screws on you. When that happens, I'll be there."
I'll be your new wife.
I'll be your next guy. Just putting an apron on, got a
Got like a
soup
cast
ladle.
iron skillet.
I'll be your new wife.
What do you want for dinner, dear?
You got the wrong Mrs. Hines. I'm Mrs. Hines. And, oh, guys, we got the wrong Miss Hines. I didn't even recognize you, Miss Hines, with the Judge Dredd helmet.
Lawbreakers!
I didn't realize she wore a Judge Dredd helmet all the time, you know? It was 2 days before the Friday deadline when Citizen Hines was contacted. And by contacted, PK, what does it mean?
They drive up to him in one of those cool futuristic rover cars.
That
with
open like a hatch.
Yeah, with like an open
Hatches on the side. Like
like a
doors.
van, like a panel van, but they open upwards.
Yeah.
And they just grab him by the scruff of his neck
Get
and
in!
pull him in and say, "Get in!"
And they got him in the back. There's a guy who's driving who looks like two rough figures.
They look like goons.
They look like goons. Guy in the back, he's got some kind of scanner in his hand. Checking him for bugs. He's clean.
No sign of anyone following us.
All the same, we'll take the usual precautions.
As we go down the high speed freeway.
Yep. Meanwhile, above high overhead, a Justice Department hover wagon. Judge Dredd is in there. He's looking down, pointing down at the cars. And someone is saying to him,
Target clearly in sight, Judge Dredd. Heading along Mega Way South.
and we get inside the H-Wagon now. We can see that they're following the cars. They've got a tracker on this guy of some kind.
Or they're just observing him from the air.
They're observing him from the air.
Which is something they didn't think they could do?
I guess not. Well, maybe we'll see if they have any countermeasures for that.
Oh, maybe.
This pilot, though, says to Judge Dredd,
heading towards District 51, undercut.
"With luck, these jokers will lead us straight to their secret body bank." And we see, now this is kind of hard to tell.
Oh, this is fucking some Spy Hunter.
This is Spy Hunter. What's Spy Hunter?
It was an old arcade game that I remember, I played because they put it to the NES.
Okay.
Where you would drive around in this car that had like all these cool gadgets. It had like, you could shoot machine guns out the front, which was its main weapon, but also had like 3 or 2 sub weapons that could like shoot oil slicks out the back.
Okay.
Or like gas to kill anyone behind you.
Yeah.
But the way you got these power ups is you go behind up a semi, and you have to like it was really hard not to crash. We had to like drive up the little ramp into the semi, and you come back out with the new power up.
So that is effectively what we're seeing here. There is a bigger vehicle that has a ramp down. They are driving up the ramp inside the bigger vehicle while they're under this
Under the
undercut.
bridge, yeah.
So out from under the bridge comes
Missiles. It was oil slick, like a
Spy Hunter.
yeah, spy hunter.
What was it for?
NES and arcade.
That would explain probably why I haven't played it, honestly. I'm not too big into old games, but like that makes sense, honestly.
There were missiles, the oil slick, and the
Gas.
gas.
We see the H-Wagon over top of this bigger vehicle now, this moped or what have you, that the vehicle that their guy they're following went inside of, and they're saying to Judge Dredd,
We lost them, Dredd. They went in the undercut, but they haven't come out.
activating tracer, Judge Dredd says as he goes to press a button. A high-frequency sonic pulse is emitted from the H-Wagon. In the lining of Citizen Hines' clothing, a tiny circuit breaker shatters, triggering a micro tracer, a minute micro tracer. So
Minute and micro.
minute and micro,
Micro just means unseeable to the human eye.
small, very very small. So that's kind of cool. They sent out a high frequency thing that shatters.
So
the
when he
thing.
first gets scanned, it wouldn't show up.
Exactly.
Until
No, that's kind of cool.
Judge Dredd shares it by pressing the button from the H-Wagon?
Yes, that's how. And
Okay.
now the driver is saying to Judge Dredd.
Signals coming from that moped!
So this undercut driving into another vehicle thing, not effective.
No.
That's all.
Cool
that was
idea,
for. Cool
but-
idea. Now
It was effective, but it made them use countermeasures. They used
had
countermeasures.
cameras.
They used countermeasures to their countermeasures.
God damn it, these countermeasures. The trail led to a dingy back street, and we see them kind of going to shadow. The hover wagons like flying over like the overpass, and the little vehicles getting out of the bigger vehicle.
Yeah.
As the pilot from the H-Wagon says.
They're taking Hines into that basement.
And then Dredd's on the Lawmaster now. Follow that moped and arrest it. I'll handle this body bag.
You want me to Judge? You want me to arrest a moped?
The
Do
person
you mean
who's
the driver of the moped? Because
follow and arrest that moped. Yeah, I'm guessing he probably means the person driving the moped. Though we do know that automated driving
maybe.
is a thing. Maybe
does the moped have AI and they're going to arrest the moped for being a criminal?
they wouldn't arrest a law master. They destroyed we're not getting into it.
They're not going to arrest the moped. We're being stupid.
So we have the thugs now have Mr. Hines in front of the body of his wife, who's in the cryogenic kind of chamber with a glass top to it. There she is, Hines, sleeping beauty. Pity she's got to die 'cause you let her down.
A real man will get that money no matter what.
Meanwhile, Judge Dredd is fucking pistol whipping the back of a man's head.
Hey!
Shut up! Judge Dredd, not having time to answer questions. That must have been outside though, 'cause now
He
is-
drives through the door to the dingy basement.
Yep. Freeze!
Judge Dredd!
Another guy says, Dredd fucking pistol whips that guy's ass. A lot of pistol whipping going on lately. Not a lot of shooting, but I guess that we did have some people shot.
I
last
can't
time.
tell what's going on in this panel.
It's kind of weird. I'm guessing. No, he does get shot. He's like getting shot in
Yeah,
the
he's getting
chest.
shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dredd, however, does kick a guy into
He
a
does
bunch
drive
of,
over there and kick a guy in the face.
And I said freeze as he kicks a guy into what can-
Into liquid nitrogen. It says
liquid
so right
nitrogen
there.
canisters. Yeah, and the guy freezes in place. I get it. Freeze.
You said freeze.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Ice
Age! Only the greatest, one of the greatest line deliveries in all time. Other judges arrived, and now Judge Dredd is pointing at the people as the judges are getting everyone out of these not recyc, but these cryogenic chambers.
Yeah.
They look like honeycomb hives almost.
Yeah, which is an efficient way of nature's most efficient way of building.
I
so.
mean, honestly, if I believe everything that gentleman has ever what's his name? The philosopher, space guy, general of color, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I believe everything that man has ever told me, ever.
Is that something he said about honeycombs being
I
nature's most?
forget. I think so.
Yeah, it sounds like something he would
Something
say.
I would say. Other judges arrived. Wake those sleepers up. And now Dredd is addressing everyone who's coming out of their sleep cryogenic coffins.
Ugh.
Everyone awake? Good. You're all under arrest for complicity in the body shark deal. Cooperate with these judges and things will be easier for you. So, Judge Dredd, arresting the victims, as always.
As always, they were complacent. They took part in organized crime.
I mean, One might argue they were pressured into it, but potato, potato. Mr. Hines is there with Hilda, got his arm around her as he says to her.
Oh, Hilda, I'll never leave you again.
But there's a gloved judge hand
Tapping. Actually.
You're leaving her now, citizen, or had you forgotten about the little matter of the sneak theft? Which, now that I think about it,
He didn't steal anything.
he didn't steal anything. He didn't break in anything, but he did participate in a body sharking deal. So really, it should be you're part of the body sharking deal
Maybe
as
Judge
well.
Dredd's cutting him a deal. Because he's feels a little sorry for him and he helped him.
12 months. Take him away.
Well, okay.
That's
so
not
let's think back
that
to what,
long.
You remember what he said earlier? A year at most, maybe 3?
Not bad. So he's doing time instead of his wife. The two hoodlums refuse to talk. We have one guy who's frozen still.
Yeah. Icicles.
It's just icicles. Dredd is looking on, though. Really cool, shadowy picture of Dredd, though, in the background. They're claiming it's their own operation to protect their boss, Ratner. No doubt the creeps at the Pell Mell Street home for the semi-dead will say the same. They know they'll be paid well for doing their time. I've busted one body bank, but Remington Ratner's got 1,000 others like it in this city.
Damn.
PK, if you want to read this last little bit of narration here.
It was often the same story. The judges caught the small fry, but the big fish kept swimming.
And now we're looking as Judge Dredd looks on at the line of people walking into like a hover wagon or to a paddy wagon. As long as there are mugs like this to feed on, Ratner and his body sharks will stay in business. The end.
Well,
Another cyberpunk-esque, don't you dare look ahead.
okay, you're on.
Cyberpunk-esque ending, right?
Very. What was it the earlier guy said? It's Chinatown, Jake. But it's very. You caught the little minnow, but the big shark keeps swimming.
Yep. It is very much, they're not making a dent, honestly, which is kind of cyberpunk, just kind of dejected, dystopic kind of.
Even Johnny Silverhand blew up a third of Arasaka. We're just going to rebuild stronger and better.
They rebuilt the tower, man. So let's talk about this.
And they painted themselves as victims while doing it too.
Yeah, they fucking did. Anyway, I'm not getting into it. It's a big discussion. They are the victims, but they're also the evil mega
They're
corporation.
also the perpetrator.
Yeah. We have Prog 210, Mega-Rackets 1, Body Shark Part 2, Settings and Places. This prog mentions District 51. I don't remember where, but it does. We know that previous progs, there are at least...
We've heard Judge Dredd's...
Oh my god, it was
Haven't we?
fucking long ago. It was like District 6 or Sector 7 or something. I forget. It's been
something
so
like
long.
that.
It's
But I don't think
ages.
they actually have. I don't think they have it mapped out just yet.
They have not. We
I
know
think
that
they've just thrown some numbers around.
They've been throwing numbers around. We know that due to previous progs, there are at least 437 districts in Mega City 1. How many sectors are in each district? We have no idea. We don't know what the breakdown is yet. Which, they don't really have to get into that. We're looking way too hard into it.
Yeah.
There is another Ratner home for the semi-dead on Pell Mell Street, Mega City 1.
Pell Mell, that means something. Doesn't that mean crazy?
Yeah, going Pell Mell is like going hard, going buck wild,
Okay.
basically.
Buck Wild and Buck Wilderness,
Buck
yeah.
wild. The Hardy Kruger block is where Mr. Hines performs his first sneak theft.
Is Hardy Kruger someone? Because I don't recognize...
Hardy Kruger is someone, in fact.
Okay, I
And
know Freddy Krueger.
This was one of those things where I had these notes from like a year ago.
Go
a lot
on.
of them. This is one of the things I overlooked, and I was like, oh, who the heck is Hardy Kruger? And I had to look that up. Hardy Kruger, born Eberhard. His first name is Eberhard.
Eberhard. And you changed it to Hardy?
Eberhard August Franz Ewald Kruger.
Wow!
That name,
What a fucking name!
let me say, PK, that name goes Eberhard.
Eberhard Franz.
Eberhard August Franz Ewald Kruger.
Okay.
That's the next D&D character name.
That's, yeah.
That's Eberhard. Born April 12th, 1928, died January 19th, 2022, was a German actor and author who appeared in more than 60 films from the 1944 onwards. After becoming a film star in Germany in the 1950s, Kruger increasingly turned to roles in international films, such as The One That Got Away, 1957, Hatari, Sundays and Cybele.
I've heard of Hatari.
I do not know that.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it. I don't know if it's a American movie or no? I don't think it's an American movie.
I don't know anything about it. It's both Hatari and Sundays and Cybele both were 1962. The Flight of the Phoenix, 1965. Battle of Neretba, The Secret of Santa Vittoria, The Red Tent, Alta, 1969. Barry Lyndon, 1975, A Bridge Too Far, 1977, and Wild Geese, 1978. This is one of those rare references where I got nothing. I've never crossed paths with this person in anything.
I've heard the name Hatari in the list of classic films.
Maybe it's one to watch. I don't know. Characters, we have Mr. and Mrs. Hilda Hines are back again from the previous prog. Items and technology. We don't know exactly what it is, but the body sharkers have some kind of scanner they use to detect tracers / bugs.
You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
Remember the movie V for Vendetta, the movie?
I fucking love... I love both that movie and the comic book so much. The graphic novel. Yes.
They're very different, but both very good.
Very good.
You remember that part where he goes to the office and does the hand gesture for put up this device to interfere with any bugs?
I love that.
It reminds me of something like that.
I get that. Except opposite. This is detecting bugs.
It detects...
If they had that, that'd be also good to use.
Yeah.
Like, search for bugs, and then have a scrambler, basically. I do remember that scene, though. It's a good scene. The Justice Department has access to tracers, which are undetectable until a high-frequency sonic pulse is emitted by the judges, upon which the
breaks
capsule...
a circuit, which causes it to activate.
Yep, the capsule, the tracer, it shatters, and the beacon can relay coordinates.
Now, I don't remember circuits very well since, the 6th grade, but if you break a circuit, that means it stops running.
Maybe it's more like...
Maybe it breaks that...
like a capsule that it's in
that
contains it, maybe? It would make more sense. It's a pretty cool idea, of highly impractical, and you would need some direct line of sight to focus a sound well enough, but, whatevs. It's cool. Probably drive every dog in the goddamn vicinity crazy.
There's an episode of Cowboy Bebop about this.
Is there? Oh,
you remember the episode of all the dogs?
I have seen the one
They're
where
searching for one particular dog, and they get all the dogs in the city after them.
I remember. This is one of the few episodes I've seen.
It's like the second episode.
Yeah, I've seen the first 4 or 5 episodes a dozen times. I've never gone past it.
I love that episode of the dog.
Terrible slang, made up words, Judge Dredd one-liners.
We gotta watch Cowboy Bebop. Ein, yeah.
We gotta watch it. You and I need to watch it sometime. That's sci-fi, definitely, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With some episodes where they're on Titan and other planets where it's cyberpunk-esque.
But it's more it's more sci-fi noir, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Terrible slang, made up words, Judge Dredd one-liners. Sneak theft. I had never heard it used this way, but sneak thief is a thief who steals whatever is readily available without using violence or forcibly breaking into buildings.
Okay.
It's modern day.
It's a very British.
It's a modern day porch pirate.
Okay.
Okay. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're stealing something out of convenience.
Burglary.
Well, you're not burglary, it's breaking and entering, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Because you're doing a B&E, as Dane Cook would do it.
The old bacon and eggs?
The old B&E.
My God, I haven't thought about that bit in 20 years.
So long. Terrible slang, made up words. We also have I said freeze,
which freezes them.
You and I have it written down from a year ago. That's some real Batman and Robin vibes going on this prog.
I thought of Batman and Robin. I thought of The Mask. You said freeze.
You said freeze. All right, unfreeze. Shortly followed by one of the best musical numbers in the fucking I don't know. Okay.
That was the first time I was a big dance movie in a non-musical.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing ever. And
I can't hear that song without joy welling up in my heart.
I was watching that show where they Meet the Ricardos or Where the Ricardos, and the guy, and it's Javier Bardem who plays Ricky Ricardo, and he's singing that part at a club he used to work at.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's so good.
That is one of those songs that immediately evokes a moment in time that it'll never be separated from me. I hear, it's like that song and The Mask or and Beetlejuice. Is that ever going to be separated from that moment? Probably not, honestly.
I mean, and there are other songs and other movies, but not okay, I think of Age of Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In. It makes me think of 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's such an obscure song.
I haven't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin, so I can't.
Man, they do a big musical number at the end.
I think of think of Anchorman and Rocket Man and shit.
Oh yeah,
the weird musical number that comes out of nowhere.
Afternoon Delight in Anchorman.
That's it. Thank you. So Afternoon Delight. My apologies. Monster building. Not monster building. Monsters. None. It was man. World building. Dredd sentences the Hinds to 12 months for sneak theft. So we are assuming an ISO cube, probably. They haven't specified otherwise.
What that is, yeah.
We're 210 progs in.
We don't know what an ISO cube is.
Never seen an ISO cube. It's not happened. I don't know when, how. Okay, let's put a guess. How long do you think we're gonna go without seeing an ISO cube?
I think
500 progs.
No. I think the rate we're going, with the amount of explanation and lore we've been getting, I think less than 100.
So you're thinking before 310, we get to see the inside of an ISO cube.
I think so.
We've been spending a lot more time with the perps than we have Judge Dredd. That's fair.
On the rate we're going, I think we're gonna see him more than later.
I'm gonna do.
You do the long bet. I'm gonna do the short bet.
But I'm gonna do the thing. 301 and after.
That's not a long bet.
I'm gonna do the fucking Price is Right bullshit to you.
Fuck
you got a real
Rob.
narrow window, buddy. Anytime after 301 or 310, and it's 311 and up, I win. So you did that to yourself. No worries.
Okay. All right, fine.
But hey, it could happen. Honestly, I don't know how many progs. No, this goes up to progs 270. So you can go into probably Case Files 6. It's a good chance it can happen.
Speaking of things getting name dropped and not explained for over 100 progs, do you remember when Judge Death first appeared?
Yes.
And he mentioned the dead fluids must rejuvenate me.
Yes.
I want to know what the fuck dead fluids are.
I'm hoping we get more mention of dead fluids. I really hope we do that.
You can't just name drop dead fluids.
They absolutely can.
And also, in the short window of time when we were subscribed to 2000 AD,
they had Death World stuff in there.
Yeah.
I
they talked about it again. Still, no explanation.
The short time we were subscribed to 2000 AD, the more recent stuff, they had the Dead World progs in there. And they were
amazing.
My favorite. They were so cool.
It was dark and gory and awesome.
It was very, very... It was like unsettling, upsetting. It was fun.
It was Silent Hill-esque in that it wasn't in-your-face gore.
Yeah.
But it was very unsettling.
I agree. I very much like those, and I miss them.
I should reread those ones.
I agree. I think I might have one or two of them still. I know I didn't get rid of any. I don't know where they are on my shelf.
You gave a lot. You gave a lot of them to me.
I think I did. According to Dredd, Radner has about 1,000 other body banks, just like the one on Pell Mell Street in the city. 1,000 might be an exaggeration, but a lot. Having even dozens of these means hundreds of people are.
And you stopped one of them.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. Basically, it's not much. After rescuing everyone,
Drug bust.
Dredd arrests.
Perps resisted.
Dredd arrests everyone for complicity in body sharking. Man, what a guy!
It is typical Dredd though. Remember in the 1996 movie?
Yeah.
Where there's a block war going on, and he walks out and sees like 2 mega buildings at war. Now there have to be citizens and normal people in this building who are not at war. He just walks in and says, "Everyone's under arrest."
This is very true. There was a block war though, and they were chanting block war.
They really
You want someone to be afraid of? Be afraid of me!
But
Very
like
weird.
he arrested everyone in both mega buildings.
Yeah. Well, he says he does.
Including Fergie, who had the bad luck of just being there.
Well, he was
tampering with a robot.
Yes, he was.
To save his own life.
But it's against. If he'd have died, it'd have been legal. This has to be the first prog. I genuinely believe this. We're at 210, right?
Yep.
We've done 210 of these fucking progs. This has to be the first prog where the big bad gets away more or less scot-free. There's no repercussions for him.
He suffers a small dent to his business.
But it's a nothing.
It's a nothing. It's
I
a big
love
nothing
that.
burger. It's a big fuck you.
It gives it this vibe.
It is a very...
It gives us a vibe that the judges can't make a difference. It's a bit more hopeless, you know?
Yeah, which is that cyberpunk feeling of things are so big and I am so small.
It is a very similar vibe to the 2012 Carl Urban Dredd movie as well. It was a drug bust. It's just so good. We'll never forget it. We're not a year from now. You and I will still be quoting it. It's not like we're gonna forget the goddamn
good
movie. It's just so good. All in all, I really feel like Mega City 1 is becoming more of an actual main character of the comic, and Cyberpunk is just evolving before my eyes.
We never got the Mega City TV show. We never got Dredd 2.
I wish
we get the Borderlands movie.
Oh, have you seen the fucking news about that shit?
Yeah, dude.
It is not great. Remember how you were like, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be great.
I watched that back immediately when I heard like 0%.
I was like, oh, it's
$8 million opening weekend, huh?
I walked it back. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I have been known to die on some hills. I'm not gonna die on that one.
Your brother and I had a big discussion about this, and I stood my ground. Like, this movie's gonna be shit because they couldn't get the real...
could be good.
No, man.
I still insist it could be.
Here's what I plan on doing. I plan on, when it comes to streaming services, you and I can get a little toasted and watch it together.
Okay.
And rip the shit out of it. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
That
you
sounds
know
like
what?
a good time.
That sounds like a good day.
I'd be happy to tear the shit out of a terrible movie.
Do you remember when we saw Justice League?
Jesus Christ.
And we would sit there in theaters, and we would say the next line before the character said that.
I forgot about that. We were literally doing the thing that the Only Plays guys did with that Forspoken.
Yeah.
Where there's like, I can't believe this is the writing. I'm literally saying the line before it comes out.
Yeah.
This isn't the end.
It's just
the beginning. I'm like, guys, pay someone, pay a writer, please. I don't think there's a strike going on right now. Okay, getting back to Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Death count. Despite kicking a man into what appears to be a bunch of liquid nitrogen, we don't have any confirmed body kills.
The guy was later seemingly arrested.
But there are other people he shot, but we didn't see everyone. We don't know for certain.
And the other guy he shot also seemingly arrested.
Yeah. So PK, is there anything else about Prog 210 you want to talk about?
No, it's just a very cyberpunk. Look how dark and bleak things are. You're so big. Crime and corporations are so big.
Yeah, there's no stopping it.
Yeah.
Though we aren't yet getting to the point of Megacorps
not yet
being the bad guy.
I mean,
it's still
that's
organized crime.
That's true. We have not seen a Megacorp. We've seen Umpty, which is run by one guy, which is
seen
a business so horrible. They had to rocket the CEO to space.
We've seen the big corps get, like, they're run by bad people, criminals.
Right.
Which isn't terribly bad, but it's like rarely... We haven't had the Megacorp mentality yet.
That's true.
We're getting there, though. I think we're getting there. So, PK...
Baby steps.
This was written a while ago.
Yep.
I don't know how much of this you remember, but we're going to try this out. For the record, if anyone's listening to this, I'm going to have to come up with some new games for PK, because I do not have the emails, I think, anymore from Sloan, our first faithful listener who sent in some awesome stuff for us.
If you have any recommendations, Sloan.
If anyone is listening to this, Sloan, if you're there, I'll take as many recommendations as anyone wants to give me for weird shit. But it's time to play that once newest segment of the Punk-Cast, I Swear I'm Not Futesy.
Oh my god.
Where my wonderful cohort, PK, will be presented with 3 different short synopses of Dredd Progs, and will have to determine, using whatever mind magic he has,
what, if any, are fake.
Which, if any, are real or any are fake. You know, and it could be some, all, or none. So the options are some, all, none, and which ones are which. PK?
Okay.
Also, for listeners, fair warning, I have not read 5% of all the Judge Dredd comics out there, so there's a chance I could have written a real one on accident. Don't blame me for it. But here are the 3, PK.
Okay.
Which of these are true or not? And I'll let you make a decision right off the bat.
Okay.
I'll read it to you, make a decision, we'll keep going.
I was with my gut instinct.
After a robotic fire hydrant gains sentience and decides to become a superhero, Judge Dredd must stop this aquatic vigilante and ask himself the question, can water do good?
Can water do good?
That's what I said.
Okay.
PK, is that what's your gut tell you?
That tells me that it's so ridiculous it's true.
Okay.
But you're a pretty creative guy.
I appreciate that.
Fake. That's fake.
Okay. Second one. A man named Manny the Many Dead earns a modest living by killing himself to death in front of a live audience 5 nights a week.
You know, that sounds just weird enough to be true.
Okay.
That's real.
Okay. Third one. A normal, not intelligent orangutan named Dave becomes the most popular Mega City 1 mayor of all time that city has ever seen. His eventual assassination will have ramifications deep throughout the Judge Dredd comic.
You know, spoiler alert, I think I've heard that that's true.
You're absolutely right. That one is true. You want to, that is the true one. The other 2 are entirely fake.
Okay.
I have a picture of Dave. He is not an intelligent, uplifted ape.
He's just a normal orangutan.
He's just a regular orangutan. And this is from Sloan, entirely from Sloan. But, like, it's just Dave. And he
for some reason, he's a regular orangutan who gets assassinated, and this has deep ramifications throughout the entire Judge Dredd comic. I don't know why. I
can't figure out why.
I would love some context, but I don't want to know. So, PK, I'm going to give you a win on that one. You spotted.
I got 2 out of 3.
You got 2 out of 3. Also, guys, if you want to tell us about stuff we did wrong, just say hi. Welcome us back. Feel free to email us at dreadfulemailaddress@gmail.com. That is DREDDFUL email address @gmail.com. Address with 2 D's and 2 S's. We would be happy with your permission to read your email live on the podcast. It always warms the cockles of our hearts when we have anything.
It does.
I don't have anything right now. I will say, during our break, I did receive several comments and emails
saying, where are you guys?
Asking about the status of the podcast. It made me very, very happy to hear from. I don't remember if I responded or not because I had so much going on, but we're very, very happy to be back.
So Man and Mini Dead is really fake. I thought that one was real.
I appreciate that. Very much. I want to let everyone know you can also listen to our podcast on most podcasting apps. You can check us out on any platform.
There was a comic in 2080 called The Necromancer.
Okay.
Wasn't there a Necromancer comic?
In 2080, The Necromancer.
It's about the Necromancer?
Merc the Necromancer was a bad guy in Judge Dredd, but I don't know if there was a Necromancer comic or not.
Who's the dinosaur wizard?
The Dinosaur Wizard.
Isn't there a dinosaur comic about a dinosaur wizard?
You know, PK.
Anyway.
If there isn't, I'm sure we can find one or make one up. There's Rule 34 for everything, so I imagine there has to be there's some kind of rule about dinosaur wizards. If anyone is listening to this and you find it entertaining, please feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, or, start your own body sharking business. Rent out your grandma.
Yeah. Go freeze your grandma.
Go mortgage off granny.
Go to a fetal home and see if they'll embalm your grandma for a while.
You got to mortgage
while
off,
you borrow some money for a crime heist.
Mortgage off meanie. What's it? Do a payday loan on Mama.
Yeah. Take your mom to the payday loan store.
Try and see what you can get for her. Person with the most value for their mom wins. What you win, we'll find out later.
We'll buy your Meemaw back.
PK, next time on the Dreadful Cyber Punk-Cast, more Mega-Rackets are incoming. When you are part of a galactic community, escaping to outer space is a great way to skip out on the law, when you think about it.
Right, it's like bounty hunting.
Introducing our own very cyberpunk perp runners.
What?
How will Judge Dredd prevent those who have broken the law from fleeing the planet? Whatever happened to Uncle Umpty anyway?
What?
And will we learn what munce is? Fucking maybe. I don't know.
What the fuck was munce?
Munce, munce food stuff.
The food, yeah.
Find out next time on the Dreadful Cyber Punk-Cast.
We're back, baby!
Woo!
Who the fuck are you?